Hello everyone, it is bronze tonight then, it is the Hungarian Grand Prix, it is round 9 of season 4 of the World Championship, and we are just outside of the beautiful Hungarian city. Is it the capital of Hungary? I'm not too sure, but all I know it is Budapest for the in the Hungaroring then. And yes, we're about 20 seconds or 40 seconds into this qualifying session. It's a full qualifying here tonight, as it is every other week, and we are about to, well, we already are green, aren't we? And no one's come out onto the circuit, which is absolutely beautiful because we can start off the show well, a bit of decorum, shall we? Because let's start with the drivers and the constructor standards. Theo leads the championship then after Britain then, but it's only 15 points, and unfortunately Theo didn't score last time. He hasn't scored since the French Grand Prix. Ayrton is second at the moment there. Unfortunately, Ayrton is DNF 4 out of his 8 starts so far this season, then, so that's not. But he's still second at one, and hopefully Ayrton can dust his overs off there and hopefully have a bit of a better ride here tonight. Then, third position is Vintage. You could say he's having a vintage season as well, isn't he? Good 17th there for Vintage. Fourth position is Joseph with Ross up 2 positions in fifth. Sixth is Enright with Billet down in 7th position. Both have dropped down 1 position each. Irvine in 8th. 9th position is Irvine. He's up 3 positions, and so is Echo and Shadows as well. Great stuff indeed there. In the drop zone is Diashi, Roscoe and R.D. Wee then. That is the driver's status, and I'm quite happy with that then. Great stuff indeed. As we're going to go through the constructors as well in just a jiffy. As goodness me, I've just seen some of the comments out. I thought it was all about me, really. No, but there we go. In the constructors standards, it is McLaren leading the way then. 4 points in front of the Red Bull, who is now up in the second, and with Aston Martin 2 positions in third position. Mercedes and Ferrari have dropped down 2 positions apiece then, so they're now 4th and 5th. Williams are in 6th, and the last season's Constructors World Champions with AlphaTauri 7th, Alpine is 8th with Alfa Romeo 9th, and the Haas team completes the top 10 then. The constructor stands there. We're just watching the hometown hero, which is Billet, and let's go on board with Billet then, as of course there, and this is home Grand Prix, and unfortunately he had a bit of a difficult race, didn't he, last time out in the British Grand Prix. However, he has still scored in every single bronze race that he's participated in, which is absolutely fantastic there from Billet, isn't it? I think he's got like 9 Grand Prix starts in a bronze. I'll have to have a look at that. Let's have a look at that now, actually, whilst we're on board Billet, enjoying the scenery here in Hungary as well. Then, so he's going to feel right at home then in the Alfa Romeo then. So Billet then, who's started 8 Grand Prix in ALR bronze. So he DNF once, hasn't he there? But he still scored points in that DNF. I think it was in Bahrain. He's invalidated his time here, Billet has, unfortunately, but he's in his home Grand Prix. He's in his home Grand Prix here tonight there, Billet is. So good luck to Billet, and I hope that he has a cracking race indeed there. Of course, a lot of you ALR fans that have been a part of our journey since the get-go may recognise that there is a golden oldie making a return to the ALR scene tonight, and that is on board now with Swanshanks, has gone very wide there, unfortunately, and that is that silent shifting. Then let's talk all about silent shifting then whilst we're on Outlaws mode. And here he is then, silent shifting, of course, making a return to LR. I think he's had 2 Grand Prix wins, has he? Silent shifting in his career, possibly, but I know he's had a couple of podiums as well in gold. Then silent shifting then made his debut, I think, for bronze last season here, didn't he? Or returned to LR last season here, so he really enjoys Hungary, doesn't he? I've just seen him in the comments as well there. Wet race every time I'm in Hungary, because I think it was a wet race last time he made his debut tonight as well. As he's really hacksawn away at that Aston Martin car for silent shifting. It's great to see him back in the car in the LR as well. So welcome back, silent shifting. Great to see him back indeed. Then I love it. Lewis G, his teammate there, is on an outlap mode. Swanshanks is having another bite of cherry. So is Billet as well. Chappie is starting his lap. Ross G is on the middle part of the circuit. What about Echo? So Echo's going to start as the first driver to put a lap time in. Then Echo doing a great job now in the championship. He has moved himself up into 10th position then. Joint on at 27 points with Shatters at the moment, Echo. And so a very strong performance in the British Grand Prix. Probably could have got further up. He was on the, I'm sure he was on a full wet setup, wasn't he, Echo was, if I remember rightly, which is probably not going to be the case, actually, because my memory is absolutely appalling. Lewis G coming out of the final turn, and he goes across on. He goes fast, is on a 16.3 then to set us on our way here in qualifying. His brother Ross G then is a second behind at the moment in the Mercedes, and so Ross G will be quite disappointed at that, and they'd be on for a bit more hoping for a bit more pace there from his Mercedes, and his silent shifting there, flicking it through. And let's go on board now with Silent shifting as well. Billet is in trouble as because I think he's got a qualifying ban actually, hasn't he? So he's come out there on his oh goodness me, I think I'll have to check the race review then, which of course I read every week, don't I? Well, twice actually I do read it because Billet had a qualifying free ban last week, didn't he? But I think that was up, wasn't it, after his collision with Ayrton last week, which took unfortunately the man who's second in the World Championship out of that race quite early on as well, which is such a shame now for Ayrton. But let's see, but he's still only 15 points behind Theo then, so those two are the protagonists so far in the World Championship. But the World Championship is so close in bronze this season because of course we have 7 different Grand Prix winners in the first 8 events there, and the driver who's won twice is now in silver, so he is not going to be winning again, which of course is immortal. He is not going to be winning again in bronze this season there, as Silent Shifting goes second fastest out as the Aston Martin 1-2 so far. Lovely 17. Lewis G coming across the line again, and Lewis G goes faster still by 6/10 of a second, and that's a much better fist to fix. And Ross G also going second fast as well. That's also a much better time. McLaren just coming across the line with D Ashley then. Starting us up, we're just watching Ben Gallagher, who is in the Mercedes. Well, let's go for the comments, shall we? Lewis G, wet race saying that Ross G, not a happy chappy about that, is he? Sarah Mushroom, good evening. Or Gooner saying good luck, bronze. Critical Alibi saying wet to dry race. He's not happy with that. And Critical saying rather for a dry to wet race or just a full wet race. Silly Rain Gods there just pulled out. Silly Rain Gods there. We've also got Vintage saying evening, Sean. Good luck to everyone as well. Critical Alibi now it's a dry race in bronze last season. Across the line that goes Gallagher. He goes second fastest at the moment there. I'm sure that there's a wet race somewhere. I'm wondering if it might have been a wet race in it was a wet race in COBALT, wasn't it? Goodness me. There we go. I knew it was a wet race somewhere. Goodness gracious me. There's too many. Chappie goes second fastest. There's too many races to quander these days, isn't there? To ponder. Goodness gracious me. Dynamite saying moan with Ross in Lewis like a couple of weapons there. We've also got Emerald saying Mushroom, are you on the stream? So he was on the stream earlier on then. Serious Mushroom was. I think that he was just he's probably just having a breakdown from me perhaps. So he's just turned me down for a bit. Diashi coming out to the line as well. Lovely helmet design for Diashi, and Diashi goes 4th fastest in the McLaren. He's in the drop zone at the moment. Diashi is in the McLaren. Of course, a man of his talent shouldn't be in the drop zone, but he has missed the majority of the season. Car 41. So hopefully the second half of the season there he can really be on song. Here comes Ardy Wee, who is in the Haas car as well. Another driver hasn't set a tie, hasn't got a point just yet in his a very eventful start to the and it's a very very eventful start to his season. It must be said there. Just watching Camera Racer there, of course. Camera in the Austrian Grand Prix. Should have won the Grand Prix. He possibly should have won that race, shouldn't he? He's had one Grand Prix win, Camera Racer, as to his name, in a bronze there. And he's won the quicker drivers, isn't he? But consistency has very much eluded him, hasn't it, over his course of his 30-odd starts here in bronze there. Is hopefully he can get a clean pair of heels tonight. Across the line goes Camera Racer, and goodness me, that's a very quick time indeed, right from the get-go. My word, that's really throwing the cat amongst the pictures there. Shatters! Oh my goodness me, he is in the wall. He has clouted the barrier quite heavily there. Oh golly gosh, we've just got Ayrton, who is on board Ayrton there, who's gone back to the luminous yellow helmet, hasn't he? And he shared a fact with me earlier on, Ayrton did there, and I like stats like this, so of course I'm going to share it. Every time Ayrton has had a good race, it's when he's got a bright yellow crash helmet there, and I like stats like that. So if Ayrton is correct here, then that means he's going to have a fine doozy of a race tonight. We're on board with him now then. That is Ardy Wee just getting off the circuit there. Ardy Wee has set a time, but it's the slowest of the time runners thus far. Ayrton there out of turn 11 there, coming down into turn 12. As Emright needs some help then, but looks like Critical Boy when there's a stream. There's a mushroom. There is indeed. I love that actually. Yes, indeed. There, of course. Serious Mushroom there. One of his ALR's #1 fan, isn't he? Really, Serious Mushroom is a fantastic stuff indeed. He's been in every single ALR silver race that has ever happened in ALR history. Fantastic. Ayrton goes fastest by a very quick time there. Ayrton, there's my word there, and I gotta say he was. That is a pretty immense time to say at least. And I think that a lot of the drivers are gonna be sitting up and taking notice of that. My goodness me, that was a very good time indeed. Here comes Vintage. He's third in the World Championship. No, Vintage. Goodness me, he's all over the show at the moment now. As he goes down into turn 12. We've got Gordo saying hello, good evening, Gordo. There is just now on board with Vintage. He's coming up to the lines. Emerson saying good luck, Ayrton, and it falls out Ferrari there. Silent Shifting saying glad to be back, thank you, and now here to stay. There's Richard. And stream since season 2 as we walk up. Brooksy saying hello to Brooksy as well. I think Serious Mushroom's been at every stream, even when, because I'm sure that Serious Mushroom was also I'm not sure if he was out and about somewhere, but I know he was watching the stream when he was not at home one time, which was quite dedication indeed. Goodness gracious me. Percy, mate, saying hello, Charles. Good evening, everyone. Hello. I'm loving the dogs, by the way. Fantastic stuff. Enright goes faster. 2 times a second quicker. Enright so far has only got 1 Grand Prix win. He's had 4 pole positions this season. He's still got a default helmet there, Enright has then, so that is absolutely abomination there, isn't there? Just got Theo, who's in the second part of the lap. No, he's in the final section now, isn't he? Theo's in the Ferrari. Here it comes at Theo as well. Roscoe, his teammate, unfortunately, Roscoe hasn't scored a point so far this season. Another man who's won a couple of races in the bronze category, unfortunately, is also not on a good season either, as Theo comes across the line, goes third fastest, Ayrton second fastest, Theo third fastest, Enright fastest. That is looking quite juicy for this event here tonight. I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be a cracker. Troy said even as well, great to have you all on for the company. And of course, bronze was the most watched stream out of all these streams last week, so fantastic stuff indeed. I do have a feeling that a lot of it might have been to do with a lot of the puns that was going on last week as well, but unfortunately Dean Phelan is not driving it tonight, and perhaps he wasn't feeling it then, as there we go. I'm surprised. I'm going to ask, why don't they sack me? Goodness gracious me. Baz in the second sector there, 54-4 for Baz then, as he carries on the momentum. Then we've got Liam D saying good luck to bronze as well. We've got McLaren off at the top of the hill there. I think it's, I want to say top of the hill, it's the highest part of the circuit, I believe, isn't it, around turn 5. Baz out of the final turn then, and Baz goes across the line. He was run out of deployment there, of course. You only get a certain amount of battery, don't you, life, over the course a lot out there, and Baz was very much at the limit there. Diashi's invalidated his time. He's 2 tenths a second down the first sector time. Echo, lovely helmet design there from Echo. I'm loving that. Fantastic there for Echo. That's a beautiful helmet design indeed. Is that the helmet of the week? Potentially. I wish we did have a helmet of the week design, didn't we? But unfortunately, I think I'm the only one that really cares about a helmet, but there we go. As we're coming into the final turn as well, lovely, and look, Roscoe's even got a cracking helmet as well. My goodness me, I think the drivers have really started to get serious on their helmet game, haven't they? Roscoe goes at 14 fastest, and then we've got McLaren, who is trying to pinch a bit of slipstream in the background. I don't think he's going to get too much slipstream here. Echo goes 11th fastest, just slipped in front of Silent Shifting there. I've got to say, it feels like Back to the Future tonight, doesn't it? We've got we have got Echo and Silent Shifting, and they were part of season 2 of ALR Gold, weren't they? Both drivers then who had pole positions that season as well. It's incredible, isn't it? Wow, I love it. I do love like saying stuff like that. It makes ALR feel like it's going for a long time. So this is our 6th season now. Goodness me. Gosh, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Ross G is invalidated his time then, so he's going to have to go around again. Roscoe is just taking a trip off the circuit, and Vintage down in 16th for the moment. Vintage, if he doesn't mind me saying, it's not a very good it's not a very good qualifier, is he? But my word, there. And remember, Emerson was not a very good qualifier in his first couple of seasons in ALR either. But that's not where the points are handed out, is it? There, it's handed out in the Grand Prix itself. And Vintage is very much a beautiful example of that. That is why he's third in the World Championship, because he knows when it counts, and that is in the race itself. Here comes RDW. He's found a second and a half on that final section. That's a good time indeed there for RDW. Right up into 15th position now. However, he is going to be feeling a bit vulnerable there. Just watching Vintage just came out of the way there. They were just on board with Alibi, who's on an outlap. Here comes Irvine as well in the Red Bull as he flicks it through turn 4. And as we're just carrying on the comments there as well, oh gosh, there was goodness me. So I quickly get rid of the Carabao Cup's on, lovely stuff. Goodness me. Right then, so just watching Irvine at the moment, and I don't even know the Carabao Cup was on today. Good gosh. Is a Carabao like I think the Carabao is like an energy drink, isn't it, or something like that? I have no idea. I do. I must say, must say, to me, I'm quite a golden OD, because I think I still call it the Carling Cup. Well, I still call it the Worthington Cup. Back in 2001, I think that was when Liverpool won it, wasn't it? 2001 was the Worthington Cup before it became the Carling Cup, then Capital One, and now it's the COBALT Cup. There we go. Ayrton's retired from the session, and he's very happy for that. His teammate, unbeknownst to me, is just gone up into a very cushy second position now. So good stuff indeed there for Diashi. Lovely. Swanshank's out on the lap at the moment, and he is just flicking it through turn 4. That turn 4, it can make or break a lap, can it? There, and Swanshank has absolutely nailed it to perfection there. Lovely stuff. His teammate Shaz is also out on circuit as well. Troy saying that you're unreplaceable. That's why that's why you don't get sacked. Then I wouldn't say I'm unreplaceable, but I think it's because there's no other fool that would do it 4 days in a row. But there we go. So as Diashi is, oh my goodness me, he's retired from the session. Diashi, so Swanshanks there. My word, he's a 10th a second up in the second sector. Oh goodness gracious me, golly gosh. We have got young Tommy. Evening, lads. Good evening, young Tommy. His second Grand Prix win last night was there for young Tommy. I think since Austria, there where he lost that Grand Prix win, didn't he? Because when Curly got a 5-second penalty rescinded, and my goodness gracious me, there he's been on a tear, hasn't he, in the ALR world, and he's gone for 2 Grand Prix wins in a row. Alibi going at 14 fastest in the Alpine car. That is through at the moment now, but remember, if you're 16th or lower, you're out of this first qualifying session. It's a knockout format now. Irvine almost off the track, and then some. He's down in 17th for Irvine is there. He's going to be a bit disappointed with that pace there for the Red Bull. Both Red Bulls are 17th and 19th. The team as a whole is looking on the back foot tonight, aren't they? They got to find they're going to have to find out something a bit special on this next 1 minute or so in this qualifying session. Otherwise, both Red Bulls are out of qualifying the Hungarian Grand Prix. That's unheard of. Here comes Silent Shifting, 6/10 of a second up then. Silent Shifter is, I've got to say, Silent Shifter is doing, I think this is his first league race, and I've been saying this a lot, haven't I? Because we've seen the likes of Diego return as well. He returned in the British Grand Prix last week, didn't he, Diego? And I think he did a great job. Silent Shifting, though, is looking very strong at the moment. Roscoe has just got into 13 fastest there. He has made it. Oh, and look at Silent Shifting there. Goodness me, he hasn't taken too long to get right back up the timing sheets. Wow. And I think that I'm wondering if Silent Shifting is really enjoying that handling on the Haas car. I think he might be, because that was a cracking time. Irvine is 4 seconds down in the first 2 splits there, so he needs to find something there. Has he got any time left in his left in the piggy bank? Alibi is going for another bite of the chair as well. Here's Roscoe, who's crawling back to the pits. Roscoe is going to be feeling it, isn't he? As he's going to be looking he's going to be a bit concerned on that one, isn't he? So already we were going to watch at the moment, so we're coming down the back straight. It's very gloomy over it. We are expecting a wet race later on tonight, which I love a good wet race. We had a great race last night as well, didn't we? It really makes it exciting, and of course the wet race makes it really shows the drivers their skill, doesn't it? And it really oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? I do love a good wet race. I get very excited indeed then. Right, let me catch up with the comments then whilst Shadows is retired from the session down in 12th position, then Echo in 13th. RDW just about keeping on track limits. Good 17. Enright saying please and thanks there at 20 litres of 20 killer 20 fuel there, but not going for Paul, laugh out loud there. So that's how much fuel you're on board. 20 kilos is what I was trying to say there. If I put my teeth back in. You can't pass me, RDW, for the serious question there. Troy saying delete that while you have a chance at Mushroom. German saying I got a feeling this is gonna be called the Cadbury Cup next. I would actually endorse that. Of course, going back to the football for a minute, I would endorse that. I would absolutely love a Cadbury Cup, mainly because that they would release a beautiful Cadbury's cup as well. Alibi is just gone 13 fastest there. Roddy Wee is 15 fastest. Is that going to be enough to go through? Irvine does a much better time, and he's 6 fastest. That should be safely through for Irvine. Vintage is 3/10 of a second up. Swanshank's invalidated. He's out qualifying. Ross goes out qualifying as well. Artie Wee was through for momentarily, but he's out qualifying. Oh my goodness me. So what can Vintage do? He's down in 19th position now. It's between himself and Echo. Echo is through by by the minutest of margins there. 700ths of a second separates RDW and Echoes. We come out of the final turn. And Vintage then, what has he got under his sleeve? Vintage hasn't got much, unfortunately. He's out of qualifying, down in 19th position now. Vintage is bullet down 20 fairness. Unfortunately, there he's been a very naughty driver in the last couple of races there. He's in 20th. 19th position is Vintage, Swanshanks, Roscoe, and RDW also out of qualifying as well. We end qualifying one there. That was a bit of a flurry. I love that. Really, really good stuff indeed. Fantastic, fantastic stuff indeed there for Alabud, and he is safely through there. Enright is faster so far, but look at that though, silent shift and Diashi right on his gearbox there by less than a tenth of a second there. Theo in out to the championship protagonist there in 5th and 4th position, but remember, it's very early in the season, we're only in round 9 of course there, so there's going to be a lot of other drivers that will be entering the fray, I feel, but of course it's all about consistency and bronze so far this season, isn't it? And it's exactly like that last season as well. Remember that it was only Dylan only won one Grand Prix last season, didn't he? Of course, emulating Keke Rosberg back in 1982. Bullet out, Vintage out, Swanshanks out, Roscoe and RDW all out qualifying. 700 a second between Echo and RDW then for a place into qualifying 2 as well. We've got a lot of suggestions there for the Carabao Cup. Maybe the Cabbage Cup there from Lewis G as well. Good stuff. Gallagher saying race will be wet for half an hour. If Silverstone is anything to go by, I'm hoping they're saying I don't mind at all, Sean, and quality. It's not the strongest part of my season there. Of course, that's a very Vintage there is of course a very honest gentleman, isn't he indeed there? So we've got medium tyres there going on some of the drivers there. If I read that comment wrong, is it going to be race? It might be. It's just starting off dry and getting wet. I think it might be actually. I'll have to reread the comments there. Curly said, I heard my name then as Curly enters the fray as well in the comments as well. Of course, Curly won. Is had 2 Grand Prix wins this season, the most successful season in his LR career in terms of wins. I think it is definitely. As out of the pits now comes the Aston Martin of Lewis G. He is the first driver out, and then we've got McLaren Mercedes in the background of Diashi. So yes, they're all coming out quite quickly. Young Tommy saying it's Ashi, and we've also got Gurman going at Curly Worthy as well. It's Ross G saying I'm struggling troops there. Curly saying the Curly red barmy army then, and Diashi saying it's Tommy as well. Good stuff indeed. Silent Shifting saying so happy to be back. Join every lap. Let's go. And you could tell when a driver's enjoying their lap, can't you? Because I think Silent Shifting came out and is really just thrown the car right into the thick of things. He's taken him a couple of laps and he's right back in the thick of things. Silent Shifting is that's a pretty impressive to say the least, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Very much remember, it's Diashi there is taking a wander off the circuit. Oh my gosh, now he's back on now. Lovely Matrix stuff there from Diashi there. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Is it the red pill? Is it where you go into the Matrix, or is it the blue pill? I'm not too sure. I haven't watched that film in such a long time, but I am a little hyped about Matrix 4, albeit it does have very much John Wick kind of vibes there with Keanu Reeves with his long hair. Anyway, gosh, I'm going off on a proper tangent now. Out of the final turn then for Diashi. Let's go on board then with the McLaren Mercedes drive and go over the grid hatch as well. Still not very hot at the moment, is it? There, you can see the flags there on the top of the, well, you just see the flags there on the top of the pit building. It's not a very breezy day either out there, is it? So it's very static wind there. So how is that going to affect or not affect the drivers? I think the drivers are going to be happy there's no wind there, because even the slightest bit of wind there can really destabilise you. I should know a lot about that. I have a lot of wind. I'm full of wind. And if we're going through turn 3, at the top of the hill of turn 4 and the highest point of the circuit here in 5, this is where the wind is really going to affect you. Diashi, I wonder if he, we did say there's too much wind out there, but even a bit of wind there can really upset the car, and I think it did there on Diashi, unfortunately. Just for saying, good luck on your return shift, and there, great stuff indeed there. And we're saying never doing practice laps again. I nearly binned it there, so Diashi, they're very close indeed there. It's great to see. It's great to see Silent Shifting back in the comments as well. Great stuff. T Sammy saying, hey, hi, Legend Sean there. T Sammy here. Good evening, T Sammy there. Of course, I haven't said T Sammy in a long time. My gosh, there is that McLaren there. Lewis G taking a bit of a cheeky bit of slipstream there. Goodness me, almost went to the back of the ash there. Of course, T Sammy, I commentated on his IRC career last season, throughout the last 3 or 4 seasons. So yeah, it's great to see T Sammy in the comments there. Great. Oh no, it's Lewis G off the circuit and the McLaren Mercedes on the second base of action. Oh gosh, there as he is He's got to be careful, though. He's got to be careful because Lewis G doesn't want to get disqualified there. Shatters has gone fastest on the medium tires there. Echo is second fastest on the medium tires as well. Then great 17. My laptop's just switched off there. Goodness gracious me. Then someone's turned out the lights on me. Ross G has now gone third fastest there by about 600 a second, 500 a second away from Shatters at the moment. We got Aston Martin there just going over to the other side of the circuit, and that is Lewis G. Then he's also, because of that, though, he's lost a lot of momentum there for his next lap as well. So that's 2 laps. There is unfortunately that's unfortunately Binder there, isn't it? I'm looking for a blue car. There is the blue car. It's Chappie, who is in 7th position at the moment there in the Williams car. So unfortunately, Chappie hasn't scored since the Monaco Grand Prix. That 3rd position for Chappie, so he is also on a bit of a bad run. Simon Shifted is my goodness me, he's really announced himself onto the bronze stage here tonight, hasn't he? Great some deep. Just like I said, that Camera Racer has also just come across the line as well. He's on the soft tires on Camera Racer. Simon Shifted is the fastest on the medium compound tire then. So that's Camera Racer on the soft tires. Simon Shifted on the medium tires there. Alibi in the second sector, so we'll leave him to it for a minute because Gallagher. We're going to go back with Alibi's gone fast in the second sector. Boy, he's gone purple or magenta, as Bruno Senna liked to call it when he was doing his commentary in Brazil in 2013 or 12 or 14. I don't know. It was quite a while ago, wasn't it? Because I don't think Bruno Senna's been on Sky Sports in quite a long time, hasn't he? But I'm sure he was in the Brazilian. He was in the commentary box for one of the Brazilian practices. I'm sure it's 2014 actually, or 15. Alibi goes for 7th fastest there. A whisker behind Alibi, a whisker behind Echo, I should say then. I'd say 5 tenths of a second now, so that's a bit more than a whisker, isn't it? So Gallagher going for another bite of the chair as well. So we've also got as young Tommy saying, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. As well. Great endorsement there. I love it. Cracking stuff indeed there. You guys are much more professional. In the comments tonight, Gallagher has gone off the circuit there. He spun it there. It's on that very spinny, very not so grippy curb there. As goodness me, he's reversing about those rear tires spinning around. Gallagher's got to, and he's done a good job there actually of just not hitting the barrier and making sure he didn't get disqualified either there. So that's very nicely done indeed there. We've got an Alpine car that's also facing the wrong way as well. No, Alibi's just getting out of the way there. Very gentlemanly out there. It's not. I'm loving that. Good stuff indeed there. There's a very friendly atmosphere here in Bronze Night, isn't there? Wait till you get to the race though. I've got to say it's one of the most action-packed leagues out of all of ALR at the moment, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Very gentlemanly in qualifying, not so much in the race itself, is it? My golly gosh there. We got Theo, who's just come through the S as well. Let me catch up with the comments there. Slips and hits the subscribe button as well. Yeah, and also Alibi doing a good job there of endorsing the channel then. Great stuff. Yeah, I was saying that you guys are much more professional than I am with like, share and subscribe and all that kind of jazz. I should be saying that like probably every other sentence, should I? We got Lewis G coming out of the final turn as well. He's sorry, not Lewis G. We got Theo coming out of the final corner. Lewis G has gone fastest there. Theo is now 4th fastest there in the Ferrari. He's the quickest on the medium tires. Loving the helmet, by the way, from Theo. Fantastic stuff indeed as they go down the hill. Ayrton there, who's quite quick in qualifying. One was the Baz is invalidated. So I'm going to stick with Ayrton for now then. He is looking on song at the moment. On song when there's Enright is saying, and he's got a lot of fuel in the car when he was practicing on his opening time now. Jamie Enright, he's been a bit in the wilderness, hasn't he, Enright? And he's dropped down to the midfield of the championship at the moment now. So he needs to get himself back into the sharp end of the field. He does have the pace, but he just needs a clean as a whistle race, doesn't he? Young Tommy agreeing with me about Diashi helmet. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? There it is, fantastic. Of course, Diashi still has the best helmet design in all of ALR last season. I think then he had Sebastian Vettel helmet design last season. It was absolutely wonderful, wasn't it, to say the very least. Here comes Ayrton. He's also a man with many lovely helmets as well. Out of the final turn there for car 12. Not taking too much curb there for Ayrton. Comes across the line. He is fastest on the soft tyres. And if that is not a statement of intent for the man who's second in the World Championship, I don't know what is. Lovely stuff indeed there. Diashi there just through the second sector. Enright goes 5th fastest on the medium tyre. So he's only 4 10 to a second away, Enright is there. So Enright also doing a good fist of things there. Lovely stuff, Ben. I gotta say, this is looking very exciting as well. Here comes Baz there. Baz has had a very frustrating season so far, Baz, in my opinion. He possibly could have and should have won at the Monaco Grand Prix, but him and Enright got a bit too close for comfort, didn't they? Diashi going across the line. Only 12 fastest on the medium tyres then for Diashi. I'm not sure if we made a mistake or what, but that is a bit off the pace there for where the McLaren would like to be. So I think for a bit of the pace for where Diashi wants to be as well. Sirius Red saying he wishes he was joining instead of watching then. Of course, there's Sirius Mushroom. I would say that Sirius Mushroom has been struggling in silver, but I think last night he really drove a superlative Grand Prix, and he probably deserved to be on the podium, didn't he? But I think a lot of drivers who finish races deserve to be on the podium. But Sirius Mushroom, Yashi's gone a bit wide there and validated this time, so that is it for the Yashi on this lap. He's done and dusted. He's also hit touching that curve there, just spins you around so quickly, doesn't he? You don't even have time to react, do you? And that's and Diashi there right around then, so this lap's done anyway. But that is so Diashi is going to have to come to the pit. I wonder if he's going to throw on the soft tyres now, just get himself through into qualifying 3. Yeah, so I think a lot of drivers did had a cracking race last night. I think the young Tommy, absolutely beautiful. It's great to see New Potato back on the podium as well. Of course, the Super Sub of Surge as well, Siege, was in third position as well. So there's a lot of good drives out there. And I think that it's also great to see Sirius Mushroom back at the sharp end of the field where he belongs. Irvine, this is bad. Tires overheated massively through the middle sector. It's going to be a long race there. So Irvine now is really struggling there. And I'm wondering, what does Irvine mean by that then? Of course, I know there's a lot of you drivers out there who know exactly what Irvine means there, but of course I don't, of course. So if anyone could help me out, that'd be fantastic. I think there's a lot of corners around here, isn't there? Because look at how much that you just don't have. The tyres just don't have any respite, do they, around this circuit? Left, right there. My goodness me. And I think that might be what Irvine might be referring to, because the second sector is this circuit is very much like a very big go-kart track, really, isn't it? If anyone's ever had the unfortunate pleasure of driving in those Wendy Stars, and now that was a go-kart track or the Formula 1 car, my goodness me, that was quite a painful experience for anyone who had the F1 95 or 97 or 98 games there. If anyone had the F1 98 game, you've also had the unfortunate privilege of also driving the worst F1 game in F1 history, I would say, because that game was quite appalling. If I must say that Codemasters has produced some okay games and some great games, not some bad games, but they've never produced a monstrosity like the 98 game. That's hands down the worst F1 game you'll ever play. Lewis, 6 thousandths of a second up in the first sector. This is the second sector then. This is where Irvine was talking about, where the tyre temperature was just right, going through the roof, wasn't it there? The core tyre temperature, and he's struggling, and of course that just loses the grip, doesn't it? You need the tyres to be in an optimal window. You can't have them too cold, you can't have them too hot either there. You're like the world's fastest heat engineer into around these corners here tonight there. Lewis G, unfortunately, needs to keep in track limits there. He hasn't done, that's a track invalidation there, and he's going to have to go around again now. Alibi, goodness me, he's not hanging about, is he? He flew past me there. 3/10 second up, Showers is in the second sector. Everyone is on soft tyres. So the tower on the left-hand side shows what the tyres are on then. Oh my gosh. The tyres on the left side of the side is the current tyres, not the fastest tyres that the drivers have produced so far. Sarah's Red saying tyres are usually good around the Irvine. Young Tom is saying that same at Mushroom or Mushy. We got Shadows going in to 5th position there. Good stuff indeed. We've got an Alfa Romeo just starting this lap. Sorry, I've got a Mercedes I can see with my eye. Now the final turn then. There is Gallagher across the line and he goes third fastest Gallagher does on those soft tyres then. Lovely stuff indeed then. We've got Diashi starting this lap as well. I'm just trying to catch up on it someone next. That's Williams gone through. Haas is also on an outlap as well. Goodness me. These drivers are flying across the line now, coming through thick and fast there. I absolutely love it there, but I can hardly keep up with them. My goodness me. And we've got a blue car out there as well. There's too many blue cars on this game, so I'm getting too confused there. Oh, it's unfortunately it's Alibi invalidating his time, unfortunately, so he's going to have to go around again there. That's in there for Diashi. Goodness me, I've just combined another two drivers there. Irvine out of the final set there. Yes, Irvine, we heard there in the comments there, really struggling there. We heard him there just make some comments there. But my goodness me, he may be strong with the tire temperature. But on one lap pace there, he has gone from struggling to absolutely flying up to the top of the order. Then magnificent stuff indeed there. Irvine has turned it around quite quickly here, hasn't he? And that is the beauty about Irvine, isn't he? He really adapts quite nicely. Silent shifting then on his return tonight. My word, that is fantastic, isn't he? Silent shifting is there. Can he be the 8th Grand Prix winner in 9 races tonight? Well, he's got a long way to go, hasn't he? But he is certainly the man. He's certainly the man at the moment now. We have got yellow flags. There's one of the McLarens there is cruising, and Shatters is going for another time run as well. Then as I was losing my train of thought there, which is never a good thing, is it? I've missed Diashi as well. Diashi's gone 7 faster. Now make that 8th because we have just had one of the Williams cars going up. His Echo is now up into his camera races retired from the session. We've had Echo going up to 5th fastest now. Ayrton's emerged out of the pit, so we've got both Mercedes on circuit, and Gallagher going across the line. He is full fast on there. His teammate Ross G is just in front of him. There he is then. What about the McLaren version now? Is now going to start as that. We have got I think that's Alibi out of the final turn. He's invalidated again. Alibi, I said hopefully 3rd time's a charm for him then. So let's see what he can do then. I think Irvine might be coming back into the pits. Is he going to stay out depending on how the lap unfolds for everyone else? And he is coming into the pits. Irvine is there. And I think that he's going to be very happy with that then. Lewis G then is 6/10 of a second down then. So Lewis G, I think that is all he can do then. Same with Shatters as well. Shatters is now on the cusp, and Theo is flying in sector 2, isn't he? Here he is there, Theo. Oh my goodness me. Looking quite strong, Theo is there. Of course, he is the championship leader. Car 48 is. He needs a clean pair of heels tonight, doesn't he? If he wants to keep that championship lead. The gap is down to 15 points between himself and Ayrton. And Ayrton is looking very formidable at the moment. And Theo goes fast as he is not buckling under pressure, is he? And he's done absolutely. That's the lap he needed. He got the lap. Calm as calm as you like there. Great stuff indeed there. Absolutely amazing stuff. And here comes Jamie, goes across the line, and Jamie is oh my gosh, sir. Jamie is 76 hundred a second down, and he's also run out of battery as well. Ross G. Oh gosh, sir, and Ross G there is spun on the straight there. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like he just lost control of the car. Oh dear, Baz on circuit. Oh, Chappie there, and I'm not sure that might be not good for Ross G, because I think he's I think he's hurt Chappie's time, and that might be Chappie out of qualifying. Alibi is in 14th position. What about Baz? He's 7,400 second up in the second split time. Nope, make that the first split time. I think that Chappie is Chappie is going to lose a lot of time then, with the Ross G's wreckage on the start finish. But he's 2/10 a second up. Chappie is there. Is it going to be enough then? Oh my goodness me. 4/10 a second then up at the second split time. Baz is there. Almost half a second. Is that in the ballpark of Enright? That's more than the ballpark of Enright. Enright could be out qualifying here. Oh my goodness me. The man has been on pole position 4 times this season for the Haas team. And across the line there goes Lewis G. He's now in a 7th position there. Lewis G is. Ross G, as we heard, he was struggling in the comments there. He is out of qualifying. And so is Enright there. Baz is through as well. I think Enright is 18 seconds down there. Chappie is also invalid as well. Chappie's out of qualifying. But the big surprise for me is Enright out of qualifying now. Goodness me. No, the man has been on pole position 4 times this season. That is not good at all, is it? Oh my goodness me. And let me catch up with the comments, shall we then? Is Enright there just park it on the side of the circuit. Alibi out of qualifying, and I think that so is Chappie as well. So that is such a shame then. That's such a shame indeed then. Sally Shifter saying the Aston Martin looks beautiful then. Echo saying this is close then. Sully, big J man right in every league on the planet there. He is indeed, isn't he? Goodness me. But Enright at the moment now is not. I think that Enright unfortunately is just having a bit of a come back into the pits, unfortunately. The tires have to be like baby bears. Powers just right then. They do indeed, don't they? Of course, they can't be too hot. They can't be too cold. They have to be just right there. Kakarot, Goku, even everyone. Science shift and that lap is good then. Come on, Vintage. Make me proud tonight then, Kakarot. We've also got Kakarot saying and Swanning for that podium as well there. Irvine, Jamie could have messed up here though. Serious Rush Mass. Unfortunately, I think Jamie Enright has messed up there, and he's also been disqualified as well. So Enright is now going to drop down to 15th position, I think, as well. So it's just going from bad to worse here for Enright, which is such a shame now. And yeah, he's down in 15th. So that was he's going to be kicking himself with that one, unfortunately. So Enright down in 15th for this shot, and he's lost a couple more positions there. Everyone's saying still not perfect, but a lot better than qualifying one. A few adjustments there for Mushroom as well, and it's great to see. I think the Mushroom should be a driver council. I'll say that about Murphy as well. Lovely heroic posture there from field there. He's the fastest so far in qualifying too, but Silent Shifting is not too far behind him in his championship protagonist Ayrton in third position. Out of qualifying, Enright, who was 11th fastest, now just made his day a little worse, unfortunately, in 15th position. Chappie in 14th there. I'm not sure if he got distracted by Ross G's wreckage on the start-finish straight, but either way, he's in 14th, Alibi in 13th, Shadows in 12th, and Ross G in 11th position there. Everyone who's got through is through on the soft compound tyres as well. Then. As a good serious saying, good job as well, Ross G. Well, that's what happens when you can't keep the car within at track limits there, so Ross G, a bit disappointed about that. As Lewis G is also getting the same issue, unfortunately. Sir, Tommy saying should have done a few more should have done a few more practice runs as well. But Ross G has just said at least you're through as well. And as we're just going down the comments as well, and great stuff indeed. Then we're just as we've got Silent Shifting. I was aware of me racing 50 minutes before invites came out. Just took a setup and trying my best there. Well, goodness me, there he's doing a very good job at Silent Shifting, isn't he? Great stuff indeed. There. Well, we haven't had any rain so far in qualifying, which has been absolutely beautiful stuff indeed, hasn't it? So far, so fantastic. It's fantastic at the moment there. Hopefully we don't have any rain in qualifying either. I don't want a bit of sprinkling of the wet stuff in the race, so I do enjoy it indeed there. Here we go. And is anyone coming out of the pits? It's quite a short lap around here, isn't it? Is anyone going to get 3 laps in? Have they thought about this then? Or are they just going to go for it? I think they're just going to go for it, and I don't think anyone is saved too many tyres. What we would like to see is if anyone's got used or new tyres on the cars, haven't they, really? Because that would be quite nice graphic to have. That's one of my wishes for next season. The other wish that I would like to have for next season on the next game is having the actual qualifying graphics that they have on the Formula 1. That'd be quite cool as well, because it would make me feel like a proper professional. Make me feel like a proper professional. I'm far from it as well. As you can see, the Brazilian flags are fluttering in the grandstand there, of course, for Ayrton, who is loving life in the McLaren tonight, isn't he? Of course, he's unfortunately having 4 DNFs in 8 starts, and he's still second in the championship. So I think that Ayrton is now needs a clean pair of heels, doesn't he? Like Theo, who also had a nightmare in Silverstone as well. I think that Enright too. Enright was probably going to be a cause for concern, but that cause for concern has gone from the white car to the green car, and here he is, Silent Shifting. There's really rocked up here tonight and really made a storm, hasn't he? And here is the Aston Martin driver, and he is about to start his lap as well. Across the start finish to start his lap, then Silent Shifting. This is his first ALR league event of 2021 there, and he is doing an absolutely outstanding job there. This is going to be his first pole position in his first start in ALR here tonight in bronze. That'll be fantastic, wouldn't it, for Silent Shifting? Absolutely mega stuff indeed. I don't think he's had pole position in his career in silver, has he? He's had 3 starts, but he's never had a pole position now. Now, unfortunately, he's only finished 1 race, and he's only scored 1 point so far in his career. So Silent Shifting there is really going to, it's really putting that record in bronze then to bed tonight. Isn't he? He's got to really, he's really making a statement, isn't he? Look at that, he's hacksawing away there, coming out the chicane as well. This is a driver with a lot of confidence, isn't there? My goodness me, he is loving the feeling of this Aston Martin tonight, isn't he? He only just got a setup not too far before the start of the event tonight. He's done a 50-4-0 in the second split time. That's a cracking second split time. Gallagher there, just getting out of the way there is Gallagher. Was kind of on the race line there, but he had nowhere to go, did he? Now into the final corner. Oh goodness me, it's Silent Shift now. There's too many S's, isn't there? Goodness me. Other final turn, Silent Shift now and hacksaw away across the grid hatch as well. He's on pole position of 16-0 there for Silent Shift now. There's also a bit of a wiggle as well. Is that a wiggle of celebration or a wiggle of frustration? Then across the line comes Theo. I think it's a wiggle of frustration there because Theo's gone quicker. Well, that Williams car, I've gone all the way around the houses there, but Echo has gone at second or faster than one there. Lewis G has gone 2 tenths a second behind his team at the moment, and that's the McLaren of Ayrton's coming in the pit side. So Ayrton has made a mess of his first lap then. What about Irvine then? Irvine was struggling qualifying one, but now he's back on it, but he's in fourth position on there. The Red Bull car is all about Baz of 54.4 in the second split time. He's 4th in the second outside of silent shift, and he goes 4th fastest out of all the runners and riders so far. Diashi, that was Gallagher, well off the circuit. Diashi's gone 7th fastest in the McLaren Mercedes. And then, yes, Gallagher is having a contribution. Lovely helmet, by the way, fantastic, incredible. And so just now we're just watching Gallagher come back in to the on his outlet there. We're just watching a camera racer as he's coming down the back straight. Camera racer who has never been on pole position, has he, in his ALR career, which I find absolutely absurd there. He's had one Grand Prix win, but he's never been on pole position. Camera racer has it. Goodness me, I can't believe that. That's taking me back that's taking me back a few steps or two. My golly gosh there. As they're just now on board with camera racers doing 27.2 in the first split time. There's the back end was trying to overtake the front end. Good, very good stuff indeed. Then as he's really fighting the cars. Camera racer said, let's see where he can go from here on in. Oh, that's too much curve though for camera racer. He's going to lose an abundance amount of time. I think he's backed off. He has backed off on this lap there. And a camera racer there. I'm wondering if he's got any more fuel in the car to have another bite of the cherry. And so is just now on board then with Cameron. He's gone to purple in the second sector, but I think that's his personal best time rather than anything else. As they're just now coming into the final couple of corners as well. So Fields on pole position so far for the Hungarian Grand Prix with 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Alongside him is Silent Shift in third position is Lewis G with Baz in fourth, Irvine and Echo in fifth and sixth, seventh and eighth position is Diashi. Camarisa, Ayrton and Gallagher haven't set time yet. We're on board with Ayrton now. He has been quick in the first two qualifying sessions there. Can he muster up anything in this final session? Here we go then. And now he's coming out of the coming into the final turn then. So let's see what Ayrton can do then. Now he primes the car. He prims the car. Was it prime? It is prime the car, isn't it? He primes the car out of the final turn then, and let's see what Ayrton can do then. DRS and right on the moon, 2 DRS turns around the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's the only car out on circuit then, so he shouldn't trip over anyone then. So Ayrton has got the whole of the circuit to himself then. So let's see what he can do then. He will have no slipstream. You don't need a slipstream around here, do you? Of course, before we go into turn 2. Of course, no DRS down for the rest of that then. Flicking into turn 3. Far had a humongous smash here last night, didn't they? As I can't remember, who do you have a smash with last night? I can't remember now. And now into turn 4 as well. Ayrton has gone a bit wide there, and he hasn't invalidated his time now because you fouled him lift there. And how much time would he have lost then? Outlaps now for Lewis G and Diashi. Ayrton there into the second chicane as well. And there the brake marker board says he's not going to be concerned about that then. It's a relatively slow part of the circuit there, since he just needs to keep his eye onto the circuit. Into turn 11 as well. Do not want to run too wide out there because that'll be also a track extension as well. Well within track limits there for Ayrton. 54.5 in the second sector. That's so for Ayrton. I think he would like to have been a bit quicker into turn 13 as well. Do not want to go into those white curbs that would just spin you around that. That was inch perfect there for Ayrton. Into the final turn 14 as well. About 90 miles an hour. Getting back on the power. Out of 4th, 5th gear, 6th. Into 7th gear. Across the line. 4th fastest for Ayrton at the moment on the second row of the grid. I think there's more in the tank though for Ayrton. I can feel it in my bones there. He's a full fast and good stuff indeed. What about his teammate Diashi then? As we've gone from one McLaren to another. Lovely stuff indeed then. And just now coming out of the final turn as well. I've missed a lot of comments all of a sudden. Oh my goodness gracious me. My word there. I don't think I've got to read through all those. And sorry guys. If you want me to reread something there, just throw it in the comments there. And just mention my name in capitals. Diashi down into turn 1. Lewis G has also started us up as well. We've got 4 minutes to go. These drivers are out very early then. As of course you want of course to be on the track at the best time of the track, to have the best conditions. The track will have the best conditions when basically when you're the last car across the line in the next 4 minutes or so. But these drivers are out quite early then. But that of course there was the advantage of that then. You can fuel up the car slightly heavier and go for 2 runs or something like that then. I normally do, but that's because I'm not very good at qualifying and I need a bit of confidence in my own self. These drivers don't need any confidence. They don't need to put an eye in at all, do they? Of course the drivers will just go out there and just put on the best they can there, and usually it's absolute criminal what they do in these cars. It's magnificent. And Diashi is doing something outstanding as well. He's 7/10 of a second up in the second split time. Look at those brake discs glowing on that McLaren into turn 13. And this is a cracking lap for Diashi. Mega stuff indeed. Let's see what he can do then as he come in into turn 14 as well. Over the grid hatch as well. DRS there. He heard a beep in his ear. Diashi's on pole position there. You felt it. We all felt it. It was a good time. Lewis G is now in third fastest. They're in the 15s here tonight. Magnificent stuff indeed there. That was a cracking lap there for Diashi. You felt it unfold, didn't you? Camera Racer, that's a good middle sector there for Camera Racer. Across the line for Camera, he goes fifth fastest as well in the Alfa Romeo. You felt it, didn't you, when we was on board with Diashi? You just felt the car getting quicker and quicker, didn't you? That was a magnificent lap there for Diashi. Mega stuff, and that was his first pole position of the season for Diashi there, but he has been on pole position in a bronze before. He's been on pole position 3 times in bronze last season. He hasn't hit the heights of last season just yet, has he, Diashi? But he has had a stop-start season this season, hasn't he, as well? So now flicking it through turn at number 3 then for Gallagher, keeping it within track limits. That is one of the pitfalls and perils of this circuit. 27.008 then for the first sector. The second sector, this is where it really starts to build up there. This is where it gets very twisty, very turny in Hungary as well. And now we're at the highest part of the circuit there into the turn 6 and 7 chicane, and it's Mickey Mouse. It's horrible. It is very frustrating now. We've got some fast flowing S's now, and Gallagher's been a bit greedy on the inside curb there. He has invalidated his time, unfortunately. I know, just that is such a shame. Lewis G is going for another bite of cherry as well. Who else is on circuit as well? Camera Race has invalidated his time. No, sorry, not Camera Racer. Who's the order? Gallagher is invalidated his time, unfortunately. Just watching Camera Racers in fifth fastest moment. He's going for a second bite of cherry. He is not just yet. Yellow flags out there. There's one of the Ferraris just gone away. Camera Racer coming back into the pits there. Now he does come back in the pits, and so Echo is going to we're going to follow Echo then first, and 1 minute to go in this qualifying. Diashi's out of qualifying, and as he has done a 15.6 then. I think that I don't want to be disrespectful to Diashi here, but I think that might be beatable with still a lot of the contenders out there. We've got Theo still out there. He wants to be on pole position. We've got Lewis G. We've got Silent Shifting. Great to see Silent Shifting making a return here tonight as well. We've got Ayrton, who's been on it right from the get-go. What about Baz? There is something in his back pocket, I foresee. Irvine has really got himself, he's just improved himself from the first lap here in Hungary. He was struggling, now he's very much in there, isn't there? Echo, remember his incredible pole position, the Brazilian Grand Prix back in season 2 of gold, and Gallagher as well. If we can get a clean lap in, I think he's going to be in the around the third row of the grid. Here is Echo, car number 8, the first ever driver in ALR to use car number 8 then into turn 13 as well. There's only 14 turns on this course, isn't there? But it's still a tricky, technical, twisty, dust bowl, sweat box of a circuit, isn't it? Echo out of the final turn then. And what does Echo do? He's in the 16s, but he's 6th fastest. He's alongside Camera Racer on the third row of the grid. He's going to be happy with that in Fields. 2 tenths of a second up. That is good enough for pole position. That is just 2 tenths of a second up in the second split. Ross G has the session, and that's not good because Ross G's on the low, and Fields on pole position by 4 tenths of a second there. My goodness me. And here comes Solid Shifting. He is second fastest Solid Shifting this morning. He's 3 tenths of a second away from Theo. Theo has just had a barnstorming lap there out there, and that would be Theo's first pole position of his season. And magnificent stuff indeed there. I think Lewis G's not it's not Irvine second fastest there. Irvine has gone second fastest. Baz is now in 4th fastest. Oh my goodness me. And wow, one incredible end to qualifying this has been. And Baz is now up into 4th fastest. Irvine, who was struggling throughout the get-go, is now into first second position. He's on the front row of the grid. Ayrton across the line. He is 7th fastest on the McLaren. What about Gallagher? Gallagher is crawling back to the pits there. Unfortunately, Echo's invalidated his time. And what about Silent Shifted? Silent Shifted a second down. Theo is on pole position then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. And he is going to be overjoyed with this result, isn't he? Fantastic stuff there from Theo. His first pole position of the season. I think that's his first of his career as well, is it? It is indeed, then that is Theo's first pole position of his ALR career, and what an incredible result that is for Theo as he comes back into the pits, and he is going to be celebrating wildly with his Ferrari teammates. That is a magnificent pole position there for Theo. Well done indeed, young man. Simon Shifton coming into the pits there on his return to ALR in third position. Now, he's going to be very happy with that, isn't he? He is going to be a major player for the Grand Prix itself. Irvine, we aren't seeing the best of Irvine, I don't think, in bronze just yet, have we, this season, but my goodness me, he is almost back to his best of that lap there. That was a great lap indeed there from Irvine. Really well done indeed there, and it's great to see Irvine back up there, because I think that Irvine was, in my opinion, that Irvine was surely in promotion contendership, maybe even higher, maybe even a championship contendership there. But he's had a bit of a up and down season, hasn't he? I don't think he's hit the incredible heights, but we'll find out then what he can do in this race. But it's Theo who has hit the headlines, hasn't he, so far in Hungary, and it is, and that is going to be Theo. He's the young man on pole position then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Magical stuff indeed there for the Ferrari, and Theo is standing valiantly as well. But look at that, Irvine was 2,800 a second away there from getting his first pole position of his career, but it's Theo with his first pole position, the championship leader. That's exactly what he needed, and he is going to be happy with that pole position there for Theo. Really good stuff indeed there. Irvine alongside my row one, Silent shifting in third with Baz in fourth, Diashi and Lewis G fifth and sixth there, Ayrton seventh with Camera Racer eighth, Echo in ninth, and Gallagher doing quite a quick time if it was wet, but unfortunately the dry slightly slow. Well, I think it's quite slow for wet as well, actually, isn't it? But Gallagher in 10th position, unfortunately not getting a proper time in. Let's race then for Hungary. Oh, hang on a minute, I've just got to get comfy. I hope you're all sitting comfortably, because we're about to begin then. So now then, as we've heard that it's going to be a wet race, isn't it? I've heard it's going to be a wet race, isn't it? So of course, how is that going to factor into the strategies and things like that then? And wow, goodness me, well there you go then, because it's wet already, which I've already been told about. So it just shows how much that I pay attention. It's absolutely foolish by me, isn't it? Terrible stuff indeed then. Let me get rid of all these notifications then. And that's the problem with commentating on when football's on, because all I get is just a load of notifications. I need to mute them really, don't I? But then I'll forget to turn them on, and there we go. So this was saying good luck all. Diash finally found my pace there. We've also got Silent Shifting saying happy with that then. First quality in more than 6 months, no practice. Rain is not going to be easy though. Let's go. So yes, good 70. There's a lot of happy drivers out there, isn't there, here in this race as well. Theo on pole position. He would like to have had a simple, straightforward, dry race, wouldn't he? But that is not what he's got. He has got, the heavens have opened up now. This is going to be a cracker, isn't it? And Serious Mushroom said that is a lot. That is heavy rain as well, and so it's very much going to be at the limit there of the. It's going to be at the limit, I think, of the intermediate tyres, isn't it? They're 35 laps around the Hungary ring then. 20 cars then. Kaz wants a Ferrari 1-2. If he gets that, Roscoe's going to need a driver of the day performance from 17th on the grid. And Theo, then he would love to get a second Grand Prix win, but he's got a long way to go. There's puddles on the circuit, and this is very much borderline intermediate tyres, isn't it? I've said so Billet's been disqualified there. He's not left the start line at all then. And Billet, this is home Grand Prix tonight, and so he's going to be, really would like to get off the start line, wouldn't he? That's not good, is it? But still enters at low surprise, and yeah, it's very close, isn't it, to the full wet tyres then. Right, let's go for the grid chart from front to back there. It's pole position at 4. Shadows not in the session there, Em, right, you're saying there. Someone could invite Shadows back in. That'll be fantastic there. Is that Shadows? Is he in the session? I don't know. He looks like he's got a solid car to me, but maybe my eyes are giving me tricks then. Right then, let's go through the grid. We've got 35 laps around the Hungarian Grand Prix, and of course we've got the same umbrella design as in the British and Austrian Grand Prix. Yes, Shatters has left the session now then, so hopefully Shatters can get back in pronto there. But of course we got the Master of Ceremony is Alex Knowles, and he knows exactly what to do there. Look how much steering lock Theo had on there for turn 11. That's incredible stuff. Vintage or Swanee there for Draw the Day then. Right then, there's hang on, let me quickly go through the grid there, because this is not looking good at all. Right, pole position then for Theo. His first pole position of his career. Irvine alongside Maru, and that's Irvine's best qualifying performance of his career. Silent shift and returns were a bang in third position there. Baz in fourth position. It's great to see Baz up there. He should have had a lot more points than what he has this season. Diashi in fifth. Lewis G in sixth. Ayrton in seventh. And eighth position is Camera race. Echo in 9th. 10th position is Ben Gallagher. 11th position is Ross G. He's been a bit disappointed with his pace, and Shadows is out of the session. He's in 12th, and hopefully he can get back in pronto. 13th position is Alibi. Great performance from Alibi. Chappie in 14th, and Enright disqualifying himself down in 15th, alongside his teammate Artie Weed. And 17th position is Roscoe. 18th position is Swanshanks. Vintage in 19th position there. Billet is still in AI mode, so it looks like the Billet is not going to get off the line here in his home Grand Prix. That is a lot of rain, and this is going to be a very tough race indeed. Shadows is back in the session now. And that's exactly what we need then. Here we go then, as the waiting for the start of the light squad then. And you can see the red lights are flashing on the back of the rear cars as well. Of course, they used to have solid rain lights, didn't they, up until, was it 2002, where they started to have blinking lights then? I know they used to have the blinking lights before going into the pit lane, didn't they? And then they decided to have the blinking lights because they really gained your attention, don't they? They've also had the added the sign raid lights, didn't they, back in 2019, wasn't it? It's quite recently as well, wasn't it? Quite recently as well, where they added that as well. So it's quite a nice touch, isn't there, to have rain lights there on the side of the rear wing slot. And we're just waiting for the start of the red lights. As you can see them, we're just there is the back of the grid bonus. We're just watching from turn 14 here, and Sarah have to say nothing is happening. No, it's not at the moment. There is as we're just waiting there. As we got a alpha. That's why I think Shadows there has been left behind slightly. There he is then, as Shadows there. Goodness gracious me, and he needs to get a move on the slowest formation lap in the history of ALR. Oh goodness gracious me. Yeah, so as the dramas build up there, Shadows is not too concerned about the drama. Is he? Of course, he's had a tough old season. Shadows hasn't. He's had the pace. He just hasn't been able to finish the season. But just now, Shadows there coming across the line as well. I think he just wanted to make sure we all know about the pit stop straight there. So good stuff there from Shadows there. We'll give him a self high five later on there as he comes into the final couple of corners as well. And so there is Shadows then, and hopefully we'll be going there. And there he is then, peels off then into his start grid box, a 12th on the grid there. Watch Shadows there, watch Swanshanks as well, because I think that was pit for a couple of drivers of the days. And this is Vince there, 90th on the grid. Then now we are now at the front of the field as well. And as the grid is just jumped up and down, and the 5 lights are on then. And now is Theo is hit at the first gear, and we're run. It's a go for the Hungary Grand Prix, and Shadows has been left behind now, and Shadows has been left behind there on the start finish rate. He stalled it, I think he has, and he's not moving. He's moving now then, and we're going into turn 1 then. How are they doing? They're doing a lot better than Valtteri Bottas, haven't they? Ayrton's up in the 6th position there. Ayrton's up in the 6th, and Gallagher is also swarming away as well. A terrible start from Lewis G. He's down 3 positions there. We got yellow flags at the back then. I think it is for Shadows then, and we got Enright. He's moved up. Oh my gosh, Enright's up 6 positions. He's up 7 positions there. Enright's had a barnstorming start through the field, and he is flying through the field as well. Yellow flag there. Shadows, I think, is moving slowly. Ross G's up 5 positions as well. Magnificent start there from the Enright and Ross G. What an incredible start. And there is Enright. Magnificent stuff indeed there. What a brilliant start. Absolutely perfection there. Ross G also up 5 positions as well. And the Ferrari, great stuff then. Lovely stuff. Diashi has had a nightmare start. He's down into 11th position as well, as Ross G has gone the inside there. And we're just getting a bit all hair and scared for the chicane. And one of the drivers there was just I forgot a safety car, because everyone's going a bit slow there. I think that we're just waiting. I think it's for the stricken Alpha Tari car, isn't it? Roscoe has dropped down the order. He has been he's lost position there now. Artie Wee is all over the back of the order. Artie Wee like a clean pair of heels, wouldn't he? As It was like a clean pair of heels, wouldn't he, on Finland, because he's got no points so far. Shadows there is now moving by the looks of it. So Shadows looks like that he's a bit delayed at the moment, but he's now going. Shadows is there, but he's pulled off in the entry of turn 1 there. So how's that going to play out? So Silent Shifter leads the Grand Prix. Silent Shifter in the second moment, because it's Theo that leads the Grand Prix with Irvine in third position there. Silent Shifter is all over the back of Theo going into turn 1. He's really loving these conditions so far, isn't he? Oh, incredible stuff. Incredible stuff, fellas. As we said, Enright is up 8 positions so far. Brilliant stuff indeed. That Shadow's been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. So that's such a shame now for Shadows. And really, his race didn't even get going there. So what a shame indeed there for Shadows out of the race there. Lovely shot here from the nose cone of Silent Shifting as well. Lovely shot indeed there. And look at the rain there. That is a lot of rain there, isn't it? On the nose cone there. Shadows just said it wouldn't let him take control. What a shame there for Shadows out of the Grand Prix there. And he is going to be furious, isn't he? That is such a shame. Sam there is just said you've been disqualified there, which is absolutely that's appalling. Like I said, I haven't got the intervals yet, and so we're gonna have to go by the old visuals here of your eyes, haven't we? And here is Enright there. He's look at him. He is storming through the field. Enright is a magnificent performance so far for Enright. And of course, Enright's had one Grand Prix win so far this season, but however, he is sixth in the World Championship, isn't he? Enright is there, so he needs to also have a good race tonight. There's a lot of drivers. There's a lot of pressure on several drivers tonight to really finish this race there. And I think that Enright is one of them. Ayrton's another driver then on a lot of pressure. Then of course, Theo leads the championship still, but he also like to have a decent race tonight. Same with Roscoe, I'd say. I think Roscoe would like to get some points on the board there. As we got Roscoe, who's gone a bit wide there, and Diaz there get a bit squirrely on the exit there, and almost spinning. And now we got Swanshanks there, the only AlphaTauri left in the race there after his teammates out. Chappie down in second position, but Blair just in the background as well. And I think that's been a very clean start here in bronze. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And you can see there is the rain then. So this rain is set fair for at least a few laps or so, isn't it? So let's see how this one goes. There's the two Mercedes in the background, and Gallagher in front of his teammate Rossi at the moment. Gallagher is in for Phelan, who's not driving here tonight. So Gallagher is a super sub. He's been a sub now for the last several races or so. Gallagher has, hasn't he? Goodness me. Of course, he's raced in 4 races in his career in bronze, hasn't he? Look at this. There's Enright's all over the back of Ayrton there, and he's going up the inside there, and he's past Ayrton. Oh goodness me, Ayrton and Enright contact there. Oh my gosh, and we've also got Rossi and Gallagher also coming to blows as well. Oh goodness me. I'm wondering if Ayrton so just taking a look at that again, I'm wondering if Ayrton may have perhaps said maybe he was on the outside there, and oh gosh, and Camera Racer is also in trouble. He's coming back on the car. Oh my gosh, he's in the wall. Oh goodness me, it's so slippery out there as well. As I think the first couple of laps was quite clean there, but all of a sudden it's becoming a bit hair and scare now, as it feels. Still leads the Grand Prix as Ayrton, his championship rival, is now down into 11th position. He's out of the points, Ayrton is, so he's got a lot of work to do now. I hope he hasn't damaged the car. I think the camera surely has damaged the car, and tries a big old clout with the barrier. Side shift in second position, they're running further. Ayrton's got back past his teammate, and of course I wonder if that's a bit of team orders there. Ayrton now trying to get himself back into the thick of things there. He didn't want everyone to overtake him, did he? Unfortunately, but unfortunately, I wonder if he should have ducked out of that one, perhaps. But it's very easy for me to say up in the old commentary booth, isn't there? Very easy for me to say as well. But when you're in the heat of battle there, you do not lose any positions whatsoever, do you? But Enright going up in the 6th position now. I think they may have made a mistake in the chicane now. On board with Silent Shift now, who's very much all over the back of field. No DRS there, of course. This rain is far too heavy for the DRS, and it's unsafe at the moment. But now Theo is driving with his wing mirrors here, isn't he, there? Because he's really gone from trying to stretch his lead out, and all of a sudden we got a bit of a conga line behind Theo. And look at the top 6 there. We got Theo, Shifting, Irvine, Basman, Echo, and Enright all within the same shot then of each other. This is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? No spray, unfortunately, then, which is absolutely bugging me again. But never mind. What can you do? It seems to be no spray when it's very heavy as well. I wish that this would be the same in Belgium a couple of weeks ago. But there we go. Roscoe is now very close to the back of Alibi. We're keeping an eye on that one now. But what about the Grand Prix lead then? Because now he comes out of the far corner, Silent Shifts, and he said, look at this, and he's right under the gearbox now. Enright's had a fast up racer, and a yellow flag in free then as Camera Racer is spun it by the looks at, and Ross G is in the pits, and I wonder if him and his teammate have damaged each other, and that is a big blow for Ross G, isn't it? And the rain has eased off actually, and oh gosh, they're inside shifting up the inside there, but Field there is not yielding just yet, and the rain has started to ease off, hasn't it, already in this race then? Is it going to be in a decent pit window then for someone to go for one stopper, or is that too much for the tires to ask? And well, we'll find out, because it depends on how hot this race does get then later on then, of course. But at the moment though, it's very damp out there. Ross G is falling to the back of the field, unfortunately, but he is on the fresh intermediate tires now. That 35 then. So we've got 30 more laps to go in this race. We are expecting to drive about half distance in this Grand Prix. Who would like to? I think the field would like for it to have a dry race. Baz has got past Irvine. Irvine is struggling. I think Irvine also like to have a dry race as well. Look at this. Look how much time they've lost. They're over a second back then, and I'm not sure what happened to Irvine, but he's dropped right behind now, isn't he? And now Silent Shifting. That's going to be. I think that's going to help Silent Shifting because he's now going to be concerned about overtaking Theo, rather being concerned about Irvine. So that's a shame now for Irvine, is that we got Roddy Wee, who's just... oh, look at that, we've got an Alpha Tara gone a bit wide, then Ayrton's got has now lost the position there to his teammate, and Swan Shanks has dropped down 2 positions as well. Roscoe back up in the 13th position there. Diaz has got back past his teammate into the start finish rate. This is the most likely place to overtake on the circuit as we're going into turn 1. Gallagher sets the fast up of the race then as we go into turn 1 as well. Well, by Enright, he's riding into the gearbox of Echo as well. Enright is looking quick, isn't he? Oh, goodness me, there's he's hacksawed away at the car. Accelerates now at turn 1 then. Enright is looking up for this, isn't he? After he'll be quite disappointed not to get through into qualifying 3, but goodness me, he's really making amends for that tonight, isn't he? Billet has also got past Schwanshanks, or is it the other way around there? Oh, Billet's gone very wide there. It looks like he's gone a bit too deep there, and he's lost 2 positions because of that there. And he's now unfortunately down there into 60 position. This is Billet's home Grand Prix here tonight, isn't it? And he's in a 60 position there. Here's the gap at the front. It's actually up to 4/10 of a second there, isn't it? It's Silent Shifting just dropping off the back there. Now Baz is also now starting to home back in onto these 2 drivers at the front. So lap 6 of this race then. A very difficult race for Silent Shifting to come back into, but goodness me, it's right at the sharp end, right from the get-go. Silent Shifting is there, and in the wet here in Hungary. They're fantastic. He's got his first ride then with a track extension issue there. He's got Mobile One, his camera racer follows him quite quickly as well then. So 2 drivers with 3-second warnings there. That could be crucial in this race then. So Theo still leads the Grand Prix, but he's not pulling away from this one at the moment, is he? I think that Theo and Irvine, the 2 drivers who are on the front row of the grid, then will be liking for it to dry up slightly. As we got Alibi, who's got past Ayrton as well. Ayrton is dropping down now, isn't he? Theo set the fast lap racer. He had a very good lap there, Theo did, didn't he? Very impressive indeed. On board with Ayrton, he is unfortunately since the tangle with Enright, and he is dropping down the field slightly. So hopefully he can dust himself off, and he's in the race now, and anything is possible. Remember what Murray Walker used to say: F1 spirals backwards, it's if. So nothing is ever for granted in ALR, and there is still a long way to go. And we're on board with RDW, who's having a strong race so far. RDW is then, of course, he's got that penalty. Of course, camera racer said another fast lap of the race, but he's in this race doing a quite good job indeed. So is Alibi. RDW going very wide though in the exit of turn 2 there, which is going to compromise his entry and exit into turn 3. But he's got enough. He's got enough gap at the moment, hasn't he? Between himself and Roscoe in a 13th and 14th position. And RDW and Roscoe, the 2 drivers who hasn't scored points yet in this season, as we are on round 9. And of course, we're almost at the half distance there. And I think that they would like to score as many points as possible there. Just on board with Theo, who leads the Grand Prix still. He just set the fast lap racer, but it was quickly camera racer quickly eclipsed that, didn't he? Camera racer unfortunately is right at the back of the field at the moment there, but just shows how quick camera is there. Unfortunately, if you didn't have that spin, he might have also been involved as well in the sharp end of the field against the points as well. Lewis G has now got a 3-second penalty as well. That's 3 drivers with 3-second penalties. Look at the rain is almost stopped now. So I think that the rain has almost stopped. So we're going into so the drivers are going to maybe starting to think about dry tires and yellow flag as Ross G is off the. He's gone into the barrier backwards there. I wonder if that's damaged the rear structure of the car, and potentially, and he's left the session. Ross G has oh dear. So Ross G was struggling, wasn't he, right from the get-go. He's out of the Grand Prix now. Silent Shifting is now all over the back of our Grand Prix leader, Theo. So Theo is not going to let this one lie. But remember, Theo is in a championship battle. Silent Shifting is a super sub tonight for Joseph, who's enjoying himself on holiday, isn't he? But of course, so Silent Shifting now super sub tonight, so he's not concerned about the championship protagonist. Silent Shifting is just here to have fun there, and he's here to win it as well. Here to win it there. So we've just seen that Ross G has had a floor damage there off his teammate Gallagher. So yes, the Mercedes did come to blows. Yeah, we'd seen that, and they also did damage each other as well. And so that is a major shame there for the Mercedes team there. Oh goodness me, there's a war within the wars there. We've got Swan Shanks who's just dropped down a position there. Chappie RDW. That's an illegal overtake there by the looks of Chappie there. So Chappie has let Swan Shanks back by. So I think that he must have straight lined at the chicane there. So Chappie doing the right thing there and letting his rival back by there. So good stuff indeed there. I think that Perez, which he did that in the Italian Grand Prix on the sprint race there, in the sprint race perhaps. Oh, it's Silent shifting there, having a hacksaw away, and he's lost an abundance amount of time, and that's really enticed Baz. Let's see how quick Baz is on the straight. Roscoe has got up into 12th position there, but Silent shifting has got quite a slippery car, hasn't he? Roscoe, has made his way up into 12th position now as we got RDW. RDW is off the circuit there, and oh goodness me, down he spun the car just coming into turn 14. RDW is. Oh, that's such a shame there, as he got damaged there. Just taking a look at the front wing there. That doesn't look very good, but it looks all right actually. I thought that the right end plate was missing there, but it's okay. Chappie's gone a bit wide there. He ain't going to get much traction out there, and Swan Shanks is just going to breeze by him. He has indeed up into oh gosh there, but Chappie is not having any of that there. Going back at the inside, Simon at the inside. Lovely stuff indeed there. I did mention about the rain that easing off, and I'm telling absolute hogwash there, because it is still raining out there, and I think it's as hard as it's been now for the past couple of minutes or so. Chappie's got 3 second penalty. That's 4 drivers up to penalties as well. On board of Irvine then, as Irvine has gone from 2nd to 4th line there, but this is still good results so far for Irvine, and it just needs to keep going. Look at the raindrops all over the cockpit here of Irvine. That shows how wet it is out there. Yellow flag in 1, and Camera Racer is somehow parked on the start-finish line there. I thought he was in the pits actually there, so I don't even know how he's got to that part of the circuit, but Camera Racer in a very odd position there, but he's recovered. Unfortunately, down. He's almost 50 seconds away from RDW, which is he needs a safety car now. There's no safety cars yet, though, is there, on lap 10? And it's a very difficult condition so far. So really good 17. Alibi has left the session. That's not good. Alibi's had an outstanding Grand Prix in the Alpine car, and that is not good. And now Ayrton's gone by, and that's a free position there for Ayrton. That is such a shame, isn't it? Oh no. So Alibi, he needs to get back in the session pronto. Roscoe, I should say, is only 7/10 of a second away from Alabon. He's going to be losing an abundance amount of time, isn't he? Back in the front. I'm loving this battle, by the way. Fantastic. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, and there's even Gallagher now in 7th as well. So we've now got 7 cars battling for the Grand Prix win. We got 11-second gap between Lewis G and Gallagher at the moment. Diashi is very close to the back of Lewis G as well. Goodness me. But there's going to be I've got to say, I think that gap was always going to be close, and Alibi back in the session there, but he's dropped a couple position there. He's also behind that chap as well. RDW is coming to the pits early on as well. He's going to put on the medium tires. Remember RDW back in the Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. Remember RDW back in the Singapore Grand Prix last season there. He was Mystic Meg, wasn't he? RDW was, because of he came into the pits. He was the first driver when we had an absolute deluge in Singapore, didn't we? And he came into the pits for on the intermediate tires. He was quicker than anyone else there. Came into the pits where the track was quite damp there, but he knew that the track was drying out. Went onto the pits, went onto the soft tires, absolutely flying out there. Oh gosh, and unfortunately, RDW, I don't think he's caught it right this time around, has he? He is still a damp track out there. He's got off in a turn 4, RDW has, unfortunately. The call in Singapore was legendary, wasn't it, for RDW? Almost brought him back into the race as well, because I think he got involved in some shenanigans, didn't he? Down at the Singapore Sling, if I remember rightly. I might be making this up, by the way, so don't quote me on that one. But unfortunately, RDW, I don't think he's caught it right tonight, as he has gone into the wall. And look at this, and we've also got a big old gaggle of cars behind Lewis G, as it's getting very condensed then, because behind him is Diashi 4/10 a second, and Ayrton is 5/10 a second behind his teammate Roscoe within a second, and Chappie's also within a second as well. It's getting very condensed down there. We've got 2 trains now forming here in Hungary, haven't we? We've got the lead train, and we've got the second train as well. We've got 2 Trulli trains there. Well, I love a good old Trulli train. I'm sure everyone else does as well. Goodness me, then. Of course, Jarno Trulli used to be an absolute wizard in qualifying, but the race pace seemed to always elude at Jarno Trulli, didn't it? Which is such a shame there, but his qualifying was second, and he was one of the best qualifiers ever in Formula 1, in my opinion there. Really won that pace out of all the cars absolutely sublimely well, didn't he? Silent Shifton then, who is still behind Theo. I think Theo has done an outstanding job so far of really keeping those intermediate tires very much in the window there, and also keeping that Silent Shifton, Baz, Irvine, Echo and Enrod behind him, and now Gallagher as well. Very good stuff indeed there. RDW is coming to the pit. Stay and and Ardewy is out of the Grand Prix. Oh, goodness me. So that's 2 retirements and Shadows out, but unfortunately didn't have any control of the car. Ross G out of the Grand Prix as well, and so have Ardewy. No incident so far. The drivers are out of the race then. Apart from Shadows, the drivers out of the race, unfortunately, they voluntarily retired, unfortunately, which is a big shame as well. Of course, you do get minus points if you do it twice in a row, of course. And I don't know if they've done it twice in a row or not, because I can't remember. Gallagher is Ardewy's for session. He's going to be disappointed at that, because Ardewy... Oh, the rain has stopped then. Oh, goodness me, the rain has stopped now in the Grand Prix. Oh, goodness gracious me, then this is going to get very interesting indeed. And so, who is going to be happy with this, who's going to be happy with this rain stopping? I think Theo and Irvine are going to be very happy about the rain stopping then, because I think that they're going to... Oh, goodness me, that's the Mercedes off. It's Gallagher off the circuit there. He's got off in the chicane, and he was involved in that lead Gallagher cars. He has dropped back then, but luckily for Gallagher, he's got we've got a yellow flag, so his camera race is also spared as well. Luckily for Gallagher, there's a big old gap between himself and Lewis G, who's been a bit of who's kind of been holding up that second train, hasn't he, in the second Aston Martin, as we just come around the following turn as well. So no one's coming in the pits just yet. Is anyone in this turn, this first Gallagher car is going to risk it and coming to the pits then? And I think is Enright in the pits. He is in the pits then, so Enright is the first driver into the pits there. There is quite, as we've already mentioned, there's quite a big gap between himself and Lewis G. Is it enough then to get him in and out of the pits then? So into the pits there comes Enright. This could be Hero Zero stuff, but remember, be on the right tyres at the right time. That's the golden rule in Formula 1 then, and he's in the pits now then, and Alibi now returning back to the session and has got past Roscoe as well. He's on the medium tyres and Roscoe's got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately though for Lewis, for Enright, that he's come out right behind it. Oh, goodness me, then slippery inside, and they're coming to the pits, and here comes Billett and his home Grand Prix on a bit of a nightmare race so far, but it is look, Enright is skated off then. He needs to, of course, it's going to be very difficult coming to the pits, but he has to produce some heat into those tyres, doesn't he? Right, it's just going to be a downward spiral. The colder the tyres get, then the worse it's going to be. The slower you get, the less grip you get, which just means that you just go get slower and slower, which means no heat is going to produce into those tyres, and then that is it. It is done. So, and right now, just needs to be brave, doesn't he, on this lap, and he needs to really push as much as he dares, but it's going to be the tyres are not liking this whatsoever, are they? Ayrton has made a major manoeuvre here in his quest in the Grand Prix. He has got past Lewis G. So is Diashi as well, unbeknownst to me, and Lewis G is struggling because Chavi's on the outside as well. Where's Lewis G? Oh gosh, they're going to have contact, are they? Goodness me, this is not an overtaking manoeuvre normally. And now is Lewis G got past Chavi. Chavi would love to get back in the points, and he hasn't been in the points for quite a number of races. Monaco was the last race he was in the points there. Oh, he's gone right into the bar. He's misjudged the braking point now, and I think he might have damaged the car as well. DRS has now been enabled. Now let's see what Enright can do. He's 2 seconds away from Billett there, but he's now gained quite a couple of tenths of a second there. And look at them all streaming into the pits there. Chappie, I'm not sure, he's going to have a lot of damage there, and they are all coming in the pits now then. So Enright is now on the right tyre. Ayrton is stayed out on the intermediate tyres. Gallagher's gone to the hard tyres, and he is but here comes Enright. He's coming up the field now, and this might be a bold strategy call here for Enright, but I think it might be paying off here. Well, we'll find out, because Vintage is also quite close behind him as well. This is Enright is still struggling now, isn't he? I think the intermediate tyres are marginally quicker still, so this is going to be a crucial part of the race, but when the DRS has been enabled, surely that's the time to come in the pits, and I think so anyway. Oh my golly gosh, then this is going to get very interesting indeed, that is there. So what is Theo in their side shifted? Sure, they're going to have to come to the pits this time around. I think they have to, don't they? And here they are as well. 17 cars remain, and it's still a very greasy top surface there, isn't it? It is still very greasy out there as well. So when you are on the soft tyres, when you're on the dry tyres, you're going to have to just... Ayrton is quicker than Enright there, but it's just I say that Enright's taken a couple of tenths of a second out. Theo has stayed out then. Silent shifting is... Oh, it's awful. He's going into the bar there. And silent shifting has come in the pits. So has Irvine, and so is Echo as well. Ayrton there is a bit further back of the run there, but Theo has stayed out then. Is this a costly mistake in the Grand Prix? Because I'm in an arm whether the intermediate tyres are slower or not, but I think it's actually the medium tyres that are quicker now, and silent shifting is in and out in a flash. Oh gosh, look how close it was between himself and Echo, but Echo's just coming to the pits. Well, got yellow flag as Camera Racer is again there having issues on the start-finish straight. That's really odd there, what's going on with that Camera Racer. Oh, goodness me. Gosh, what's going on there? And, oh, goodness gracious me, and look at that. There's a party behind. And Enright now we're past there. And look, as the McLaren, look, Enright is now in 5th position. He is in 5th position. He's got past Echo, and that's a good maneuver there for Enright. He's going to also have a quicker, warmer tires as well. Roscoe is now through. And look, there's Ayrton as well. This is going to get very interesting. There's going to be free right there. Ayrton coming out the pits, and he's going to have tires that are as warm as Roscoe's are. There's not a lot of difference in it, but look at this. Roscoe is fighting. And he's having a look down into turn at 2. Not quite a look in the background. Billet is up the inside. Oh, my word there. He's right up the inside. Oh, goodness gracious me. He's not shy, is he, Billet? And he's through, passes at Lewis G. Oh, my goodness me. Lewis G has gone wide there. He's onto the grass there. He's onto the grass. Oh, my goodness me. They're banging wheels. And oh, he's getting very rude there, isn't it, for 13th and 12th position, respectively. Oh, my word there. And Lewis G there is not going to be too fond of that, but he's also got, oh, he's been beached on that sausage curb, and Swanshanks is going to be through as well, is he? Not quite there. It's too much of a short straight. Into the pits comes Theo as well. I feel that is a race. That is probably a it's probably good. That is a race, maybe a race costing error there from Theo then, because I think he should have come into the pits on that last lap. He's coming out of the pits now. Yes, he's lost the lead there. Enright set the fast up the race, and Enright is absolutely flying now. As Chappie is out of the Grand Prix. Chappie is out of the race then, and look, Theo's gone from 1st to 6th then because he pitted a lap later then, and he's going to be kicking himself. I think Theo may have been a bit too cautious on the strategy calls then. I think Theo should have probably come in the pits then. Chappie's car is at the exit of turn 3 there. It's in the turn 11. It's in the firing line. I think that there's not going to be a safety car just yet, is there? Oh my word! There, Silent Shifter is going to be loving that, because I think that was a very much a gift wrap chance to lead the Grand Prix. But Silent Shifter does have penalties, of course, but he was quick in qualifying, wasn't he? So this is going to be interesting indeed, isn't it? So Roscoe is on the soft tires, and Ross G is also on the soft tires as well. We've got hard tires for Diashi and for Gallagher. So Roscoe is the only driver in this race officially to go onto the soft tires. So let's see how that plays out then. Medium tires then should get to the end from here, I think then. So they're going to now just try and one-stop it. Enright's having a look then. Irvine there is not going to let him through into turn number 12. And is he? I must say, I'm actually going to enjoy this battle between Irvine and Enright. And these two drivers then are really like watching. Both of them are very skilled, talented individuals, aren't they? And we haven't seen much of this, have we? And I think that we would like to see more. Having said that, Enright has got his tyres much more up to par, hasn't he? As Billet's got a 3-second penalty. As Enright's got his tyres much more up to grip, so hasn't he? Rather than Enright. Baz is really is doing a good job in second position, though, isn't he? With Irvine in third, then Enright in fourth, then Echo in a fantastic fifth, Theo in sixth position there. And at sixth position, we've got a big old gap. Then Ayrton set the fast half of the race. We've got a big old gap between Gallagher and Theo. It's 13 seconds, and Ayrton's 3 seconds back at the moment now. We've got Roscoe in 9th position, Alibi in 10th for the moment now. And Lewis G is now alongside Diashi. He's now past Diashi down into a 12th position now. As this is not going, this race has not been too fruitful for the McLaren team, has it? Lewis G is now up into 11th position in the Aston Martin. He'll be let's see now what he can do then. Remember that Diashi is on the hard tires. I don't know. I'm not sure if that is the best way to go. Lewis G out of the race then, and he's gone off in a huge way. There's debris all over the circuit there. My goodness me, it's a huge smash there. No, I think that's a safety car. It's a virtual safety car at the moment then. So the FIA race control decided to bring out the virtual safety car. They can up it to a full safety car here, but we'll find. But I don't think that's going to be, is it? Because the car should be clear. But unfortunately, both the G's of Ross and Lewis G, and a bit of a nightmare race here, unfortunately, in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Both out of the race then before we even got to half distance. Then Silent Shifton leads the race then on his return to LR. Fantastic stuff. It's around half distance. Baz in second with Irvine in third. Enright in fourth position. At the moment, he's driver of the day material. Fantastic stuff in fourth position. Echo in fifth. Theo in sixth. Major mistake for Theo. And I said that's a race. That may be a race costing error for Theo. That might be. It's not going to be a championship costing error for Theo. Well, it's too early to say, isn't it? But we may look back on this race as one of the major talking points of the Grand Prix. Then that lap there can make or break your championship, isn't it? That's how tight. Oh, Swanson's got a driver for a penalty there for being a bit too eager on the loud pedal. Yes, that is how tight this championship can be, though. Canada, of course, says it can really make or break your races. So Theo is now got a lap younger medium tires. Is that going to be important then? Well, at the moment, it's not going to be too important, is it? Of course, track position, I think, is king around here. It really is, isn't it? Track position is very important here in the Hungary. Billa is very close to the back of Diaz. He's not anymore. He's in the wall. And gosh, there is his Gallagher's also off as well as Billa spins around, and Gallagher in that very slippery turn of turn 5 is also coming Cropper as well as he got damaged there. Gallagher as Chappie is out of the race, left the session. We're down to 15 cars in this race. I think Camera Racer is still in this race, but Ross G unfortunately is out of the Grand Prix. Billet at the moment there is this could be he's in 8 races so far, and Bronte has scored in all 8 races. But today in his home Grand Prix, he's not having the best of luck here, is he? In his home Grand Prix, unfortunately, but he did have a blue flag was out there. He hasn't had the, of course, he did have a call from Bandini, which is kind of tied his hands slightly, hasn't he? So the race is starting to settle down now a bit then. Simon Shifton does have a 3-second penalty for, of course, their quarter cutting, unfortunately. Ayrton's got a penalty, and so has Rostigo as well. Swanshank's in the pits there. Swanshank's close to the, I'm sure the Swanshank's in, but it was quite close to each other then. I'm putting 2 and 2 together here, but Swanshank's going on the pits now. Of course, he had a drive-through penalty, didn't he, there? So that was nothing to do with Billet at all then. So Swanshank's coming out the pits there. Unfortunately, Billet there was close to Swanshank there, but unfortunately it didn't. It looks like Camera Racer's out of the race as well, actually. So, but no, well, I haven't said that. They do ghost them when they get lapped, do they? So I have no idea what's going on then. As so just in a serious question in the comments as well. Apologies, guys. I haven't really been reading the comments out tonight. It's been absolutely shameful behaviour by me, hasn't it? I don't think Camera Racer is out of the race because he's actually doing a good job to stay in the race. So hats off to Camera Racer. Unfortunately, though, Alfa Romeo, who had quite a disappointing race, starting to start the fast out of the race, is now starting to relight the track there. Unfortunately, Alfa Romeo had such a gut punch and racing goal there was less than I think there was about halfway. Theo's up the inside, he passes Echo, and he is through number 5th position. That lap is that overtake's been coming for quite a while. Theo has a lot of decent pace, doesn't he? And I think that M right now also says that Theo is on a mission now. The sun is now starting to shine here in Hungary, and the sun drives have really started to kick on here. Oh my gosh, everyone just always goes to the side of everyone. Oh my goodness me, going into turn 4. I was bracing myself for impact there, but of course the drivers are very well behaved, aren't they? Good stuff indeed there. My goodness me though, but Enright went to the back of Irvine and hopefully hasn't damaged the car. As Irvine now was struggling now on turn 3, wasn't he? And Enright there, he really wants to get past, doesn't he? Because I think he sees that Theo in the red Scarlet Ferrari has got past Echo as well. And now Theo has been quick, hasn't he? He was on pole position, wasn't he, for this event here tonight? So Theo surely knows, Enright surely knows how quick Theo is. And there he is in the background there. Theo, the world championship leader. Theo can't afford to be involved in any scuffles, can he? Unfortunately, Ayrton's involved in a scuffle with Enright earlier on this race and has really put him on the back foot in the Grand Prix. He's down in 7th position, Ayrton is there. As into the pits there comes, I think that's a Mercedes of Ross G. It is Ross G. Alaboy's just got past Roscoe, moved up in to 8th position, and the soft tyres is not working. Theo's having a look on the inside, but not quite at the moment now. Is he there? On board with Theo. I love the helmet on board Theo. That's fantastic as well. We're on board with we're on board now with Theo. Yellow flag in one. It's Billet out of the Grand Prix. So Billet out of the race. That's his first. That's a safety car. That's his second retirement in his ALR career in bronze. Oh my gosh, there's Theo and Emma almost went to each other. That's his first. That's his second retirement in bronze. That is the first time that Billet is not going to score in bronze, and so his incredible run of points is unfortunately come to an end. Then. So we're not at half distance yet, are we? Well, we are at half distance, I should say. So who is going to come into the pits then? Who is not going to come in the pits then? We're going to find out now. Into the pits there comes up Swanshanks there, Vintage in 12th position. It's been a tough old race this one, hasn't it? 14 cars remain out of the 20 that started. Of course, we've had a very wet, miserable start to the Grand Prix. Now we've got beautiful sunshine here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. There's a change of the nose cone on Swanshanks then. Now he's going to be on soft tyres to the end of the race. So that's going to be 14 or 13 odd laps on the soft tyres. Now, what about the race leaders? Are they coming into the pits then? Silent Shifted is staying out. Baz, is he staying out as well? It looks like he is. Said Irvine is coming into the pits, and I think Enright is into the pits as well. Oh gosh, I thought he was going to overshoot it then. Theo's also in the pits as well. So interesting play this one is, isn't it? Goodness me then. So it's Irvine's got a 5-second penalty. He was a bit too overzealous going into the pit, and now the Red Bull mechanics going to it, but Irvine's now got a 5-second penalty. If he doesn't go into the pits, that'll be added on to his race time there. Oh, that is such a shame then for Irvine, because he was on a cracking race, and so Irvine would hope that there is not going to be any safety cars towards the end of the race. And Ayrton in the pits, well, along with Alibi and Roscoe, and I think this is beautifully cool. Roscoe's had a beautifully cool strategy here, hasn't he? Put on the soft tyres. Soft tyres are coming to the end of their life now, so he's coming to the pits there now. He's going to be thrown on the medium tyres, I think Roscoe is. Indeed he is. No, Alibi's got on to the soft, and Roscoe coming on the pits as well. McLaren are just getting back in position now, so this is going to be a long stop then for Diashley, unfortunately. So he's going to drop down a few positions there, but he's down in 12th position now, Diashley. So he's only lost one position in that run of stops, and so it's not going to be too bad. Not going to be too bad. And Swan Shanks there, and look at this, and Camera Racer, unfortunately, it's a double whammy here because he ain't going to be able to unlap himself, so which is such a shame for Camera Racer, isn't it? Because he probably would have wanted to go out in front of Silent Shifting there, so he could have Lewis G is there for session. Camera Racer would like to go out so he can catch at the back of this crocodile and perhaps get some points, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case, is it there? So that is such a shame. Then let's take stock then. So drivers who came in the pits there, Irvine, Enright, Theo, Ayrton, all came in the pits then, of course, so they're all on medium tyres now until the end of the Grand Prix. Our drivers who came into the pits then was Alibi, he's on soft then. Roscoe and Gallagher and Diashi is also on the fresh tyres as well, but Roscoe, Gallagher and Diashi on the medium tyres then. Soft tyres for soft tyres then for Alibi. Soft tyres for Swan Shanks as well. Camera Racer on the old medium tyres. Only 14 cars remain then. So Silent Shifting has done 7 laps on the old medium tyres along with Baz and Echo. So what is this going to do in terms of strategy as well? This is going to it's going to get very interesting indeed. So I think this is the first safety car of the race, isn't it? So it's been absolutely impressive indeed, has it, this one? So very good stuff indeed there for all the bronze drivers there out here tonight then. Retirements then, we have lost Shatters. Unfortunately, didn't have a fair crack at the whip, did he? Because he was out of the Grand Prix, before he even started there. So that's such a shame now for Shatters. He wasn't allowed to take over his car. Ardy Wee out to the race. He had a great start to the Grand Prix. He was looking quite strong as well, but it all just went peak tongue there for Ardy Wee, unfortunately. Chappie out of the Grand Prix along with Lewis G and Billet, and also Ross G as well out of the race then. Roscoe in 10th position. This is the first, he's on course and scores first points of his season. And can he stay there? Fingers crossed there for Roscoe. Of course, he would love to score points out of goal. I feel then, down in 6th position, then I feel that I think the field might be kicking himself when he didn't come in the pits when the DRS was enabled then, because I feel that's usually the sign of you come in the pits, don't you, when the track is dried out. So everyone's now caught up behind, apart from Swancheck, who's just accelerating in the background in a 13th position. He's the last driver not to be lapped. Cameric has been lapped there, so he's very much on the on the back foot Camera Racers, and it's very difficult to find out. It's very difficult to see what Camera Racer could do for there. But hats off to him for staying to the race. And very good stuff indeed there for Camaro. It's been a very disappointing race, and Camera Racer has had the pace again, hasn't he? He's just been very unlucky, Camera Racer, hasn't he? But when he's out in front, he's very formidable, isn't he, Camera Racers? But unfortunately, when he's in traffic there, it just doesn't go his way, does it? So Swan Shanks there, who is just as a Camera Racer into the pits now. Swan Shanks then, who has just got to the back of the crocodile, but we are going to have one more lap then behind the safety car. So then we'll be back at racing again then. So Silent Shifting then, this is his first race in about 6 months, he mentioned in the comments earlier on in qualifying. So how is he going to perform the safety car restart? It's going to be a lot of pressure on Silent Shifting. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world. However, I think Hungary is one of the more better safety car restarts, isn't it? Well, maybe a lot better than, for example, Azerbaijan, isn't it? That's one of the most toughest safety car restarts on the calendar, isn't it? But this one isn't too bad for Silent Shifting then, so let's see how he plays this one out then. So Silent Shifting leads from Bazin and Echo, first, second and third. Then Irvine is the highest on fresh tyres in 4th position. However, he has a 5-second penalty for his troubles. Enright in 5th position, from 15th to 5th. Fantastic for Enright. Theo in 6th position, championship leader. Then he came in the pits a lot later. He's thrown away the Grand Prix lead. 7 positions out, and he came to blows with Enright earlier on then, and he's dropped a down position. But however, he's now a second behind his championship rival, and he'll be very happy with that after a very difficult race there. Vintage in 8th position there from 90th on the grid. Fantastic. Alibi in 9th, and he's on soft tyres there. He's going to be quick in the opening couple of laps here. Roscoe has not scored a point so far this season, but he's on a strong race in 10th position. Gallagher in 11th position. The 12th position, Diashi. Let's see what Diashi can do with there. He's had some pace so far in this event, but unfortunately the race has not been too fruitful for him. Swanshanks in 13th position there on soft tyres as well. Like him and Alibi, they're going to be quick off the mark. Ross G out of the Grand Prix. Camera Racer a lap down, unfortunately, and in 15th position there. So he's having a very difficult end into this race then. Now we're about to go green in Hungary then, with 11 laps to go in this race set. Here we go then for the restart of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Then look at this, and there's Baz right behind as well. It's a shame we don't have the standing starts, which hopefully they'll be embedded into the game next year. Wouldn't that be crazy to have another standing restart in this race? And I'll be loving that. Right, I think Silent Shifter has dropped it. He has dropped it. We're back green here in Hungary then. We're 11 laps to go then. So Silent Shifting leads then with Baz in second position there, but Baz is starting to already get defensive. Enright there is all over the back already, isn't it? Enright's the closest so far of anyone, but having said that, Roscoe is right alongside Cryptic. Alibi, oh my gosh, and Alibi is going for the inside of Vintage there. Vintage there, oh goodness me, now Roscoe right underneath Vintage there. He's past at the Red Bull and he's through, but Vintage has gone up the inside. Roscoe's going to go on the outside. He's got fresher tyres, and this is a great example of having fresh tyres on the outside. And Roscoe, I've got too many Rosses on my mind, and a great 17 there. Oh goodness me, Gallagher's also alongside. Vintage Rice got the curve, so that's going to go right out to wide there, and he has got wide as well, but he's got the inside though. And once again, and that is showing how oh goodness me, that's showing how having soft tyres sorry, not soft tyres, oh my goodness me, oh gosh, there it's getting all too a bit too close for comfort for my liking there. It's getting a bit too cozy into the chicane now, and Vintage and Swanshank very close to each other. That is the advantage of fresh tyres. Enright then, who is in at 5th position. We're on board with Enright. Look at this, he's going to have a look. He's having a look there on the inside then. Look at how much later he braked than Irvine. Great manoeuvre there from Enright. He's up in the 4th position now. A fantastic performance here from Enright out of the final turn then. Silent Shifting leads that. Enright's the highest driver, who is on fresh medium compound tyres, and he is going to be in the ascendancy now with just 9 laps to go in this race, going down into turn 1. But at the moment there, he's just too far back, wasn't he? And I think everyone's too far back. No DRS then for until the end of this lap. Then so I'm just taking a look at Diashi, having a look on the inside of Vintage there. So Vintage unfortunately hasn't this restart for Vintage has not been very tasteful, has it? Oh my gosh, there now we have got Enright is flying out there. Look at him, he's flying through, and now having to 3rd position. Enright he is absolutely a man on the mission there. Oh, I think that Irvine was trying to sneak through as well. Irvine's on the inside there. Oh my goodness me, and look at this, and he's also through in 4th position there. Irvine does not want to lose sight of Enright, and he is through. Theo is the next man, and the Echo's going to have to be concerned about, because look, Ayrton is also in the mix as well, in the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th position as well. Enright is now right underneath the gearbox of Baz. This is a fantastic performance for Enright. He's got a 3-second penalty now. Oh my gosh, someone else had a 3-second penalty as well. Theo on the inside, he's on look there. Echo is not going to let that go though, going in at turn number 12 then. DRS will be available at the end of this lap then, and here we go then. Out of the final turn, look, Silent Shifting is bolted, hasn't he? I think he's bolted because he knows that Enright, Irvine, Theo are all going to be flying through the field as well. DRS is now enabled then, so this is going to make overtaking that much easier then, not a lot easier then. Gallagher has set the fast up of the race then, going, oh, it's Enright that was a bit of a delay in a door short there from Enright there, but I think he was trying to surprise Baz. You have to get up very early in the morning to surprise Baz in the Alpine car. Echo is still in front of Theo, so Theo there on winner field is just taking it a bit more cautiously than his rivals of Irvine and Enright then, who are not in the championship battle per se yet then, but we're not even a half season in this World Championship, and Enright can really force himself back into this championship battle along with Irvine as well, if they can find some form and some consistency. Look at this, Enright is launching off of turn 5 absolutely splendidly well. He's going up the inside. That's not going to go well. That's not going well at all. He spun the car, and Enright is driving all the way down the order there. Oh goodness me, and I think the team should have waited there, Enright, perhaps but maybe I'm being a bit harsh there on Enright. right, maybe it was a bona fide overtaking opportunity. Roscoe and Gallagher are now got that. It's not going to go well. It hasn't gone well. He has spun the car. Oh my word! There's Roscoe and Gallagher have come to blows there. The Gallagher, that must say, has been through some battered and bruising here tonight, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me! Oh my gosh, sir. Now coming into the final turn as well. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh there on maybe perhaps it was a bona fide overtaking opportunity, but he would have had DRS right down the straight and he would have got past Baz, I think. No disrespect to Baz said, but he is on older medium tires said. Echo's defending fantastically well. Theo though, he doesn't want to be involved in this too much. He's been run out wide and Ayrton is through. He passes Theo and over the fifth position there. Oh, Theo there, and he's dropped down the order there, hasn't he? Theo, I said of course that Theo would love to get the job done here. He doesn't want to be involved in too many battles here, does he? Theo does now. Of course, he's got a championship to defend here. We're on round 9 of the World Championship, of course. And oh my goodness gracious me! What an incredible, this is an incredible series of laps, isn't it, at the moment now? So this race has really been turned on its head. Silent Shifter is now 3 seconds in front of Baz. That is what he needs then. So that is good stuff indeed. Let's take a look at the pound situation as well. 5 seconds for Enright. 5 seconds for 9 seconds for Cameron Racer. 6 seconds for Gallagher. 3 seconds for Roscoe and Enright. Goodness me, who was that? That's Cameron Racer just getting by. Yes. Goodness me. Look at Enright's got past. It's Alibi. It's off. I'm not sure what happened there, but Alibi swapped 10 down the Alpine car. Dropped right out of the points as well. Theo is having a look then, and of course Theo and Ayrton in 5th and 6th position. They are the championship protagonists in the Grand Prix at the moment, isn't it? And now into the final turn. Theo is within the second. Irvine's within the second as well as we come through the final turn. Can Irvine get the job done? Then he's alongside there. He's got enough of the straight left there. Can he break though? He is braked later than Baz there. Of course, he's on fresh tires. He is through and takes the lead. Of course, if he now needs to catch up behind Silent Shifton and overtake Silent Shifton and get 2 seconds in front if he wants to win the Grand Prix. That'll be his first Grand Prix win in the in bronze there. Look at this battle here. My goodness gracious me there. Oh, incredible stuff indeed there. So at the moment, Echo is doing a superlative job there of defending there. Unfortunately, Echo and Ayrton and then right, we've got 3 seconds of penalty, and Theo has got no penalties at all then. So Theo is going to be quite relaxed at this stage at the moment. Well, as relaxed as you can be in a Formula 1 car here in the Hungary ring anyway. But Theo is going to be quite happy at this, isn't he? His Cameron Racer is just flying past everyone there. Of course, he has the right turn lap himself, Cameron Racer does, doesn't he? He is well with outside the points there, isn't he? But anything can happen in Formula 1, so he has got his prerogative as long as he doesn't cause any mischief. Ben Horan said that when you do go, so you do cause a bit of mischief, don't you? But I think hats off to Cameron Racer though for staying in this race. We're really well done indeed there. So really doing a good stuff job indeed there. Irvine has got the gap is now 3.4 seconds. Silent Shifton is still leading the race, and he's now he's doing a great job. Silent Shifton is on his return to LR. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Fantastic for Silent Shifton to come across the line then. Comes back to LR after 5 months there and 6 months, and he wins the Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. What an absolutely incredible return then to form. Ayrton there close to the back of Echo, but not close enough. We've also got Roscoe involved in this battle as well. There is the second Ferrari. It'd be great. It's great to see Roscoe also involved in this action as well. Roscoe was one of the top drivers in bronze last season. He had a Grand Prix win as well, didn't he? Just he's been a bit unlucky this season, and he's also been involved in some skirmishes. Has been involved in some skirmishes as well, hasn't he, Roscoe? But today he's doing a absolutely superlative job there. He's on course for a very valuable 4 points for Ferrari and for himself as well. Going into the chicane as well. And I can't believe that the braking distance of these drivers is absolutely major. Ayrton's had a major problem there, and he's been overtaken on the outside. Has Ayrton got some damage there? I'm not sure. He's on the back foot now, Ayrton is. And yes, there. Oh gosh, there. No, goodness me, that was going to be that doors. That was going to be closing now, wasn't it? I was just waffling away. I'm not sure if Ayrton made a mistake or whatnot, but that is not good at all, is it? Oh dear for Ayrton then, because he's now lost out to Theo in terms of track position and in terms of race time as well. Roscoe is also lingering in the background as well. Enright was flying through this Theo earlier on, wasn't he? But he's come to a hard stop behind Theo and Ayrton at the moment, hasn't he? Enright has. I wonder if his psyche has changed slightly for Enright, because in terms of he's now fighting with the championship leaders, perhaps said. But maybe not. Then maybe I'm just barking up the wrong tree, perhaps then, which is what I do quite a lot then, being from the forest and all that. Silent Shifton leads by 3.4 seconds then. Irvine is second then. Irvine needs a 5 second gap between himself and Baz. Baz is driving a superb drive say. Ayrton's got another 3-second penalty. That is crucial in the Grand Prix today. Ayrton said, oh goodness me. Ayrton has had the pace, but unfortunately it's just not gone too well. Gallagher's had an incident. Well, his Mercedes is still running there, so I'm not sure what's happened to Gallagher. He is out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, the Mercedes side. So we're down to 13 cars. Ayrton is slow on that chicane. He's very slow, isn't he? And look at this, and that's where him and Emright came to blows earlier on this race. He's dropped down into 7th position as well. Ayrton is in major trouble, and I'm wondering if he's got some other damage. He's carrying who's out? Oh gosh, and that's Cameron Racer then, who's pushing hard, isn't he? I think he's got the fast lap, has he? Or he tried to get the fast lap earlier on then. That is such a shame. And Ayrton is in major peril now, is he? He's dropped down in 7th position. Theo is on the ascendancy. He's now up in 5th position. Theo is there. Of course, he got his first pole position earlier on today. He's now 3 tenths of a second away, isn't he, Theo? Theo's going to extend in the World Championship as well. This is exactly what Theo wants, and he comes across the line, and Theo is going to go for it. And Echo is trying to defend as much as possible, but he might not be able to defend against Theo. He doesn't have Theo's on the outside. Great 17 then. We have also got Emright then. Emright's been pushed off the roadside out from Echo. Echo's just parked himself in the middle of the circuit, and so, but Emright's on the inside there, and he's got it there. He's got the job done then. He's up in 5th position there, so Emright then following Theo through. Good stuff indeed. And he is now up into 5th position now. Good, up into 5th position now. Echo down into 6th. So next target is Baz, who is about a second and a half down the road. There is the Alpine driver right in front of us then. No penalties then for the Alpine driver Baz. So he's trying to keep it within the 3 second of 5 seconds of Irvine, with just 4 laps to go. This last section of the race is absolutely flown by. Magnificent stuff indeed there. 13 cars remain then. Only 12 cars on the same lead lap at the moment. It's been a tough, twisty, and a very sticky end then to the Hungarian Grand Prix, as the heat is now starting to really build up in these cars. Remember, tomorrow night we've got COBALT. One more race in here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Oh no, ALR is super weak, isn't it? Before we go on to the Belgian Grand Prix in a week's time, of course, looking forward to that one. Isn't it? Belgium now 22 laps, the longest lap on the F1 calendar as well, isn't it? It is an old school circuit there. Of course, we are expecting a lot of action there, and expecting a lot of drama as well. And now Ayrton there is up into 6th position. He passes Echo, but Echo is coming back at him now. Ayrton's on the inside, and this is crucial. Ayrton, it's Enright's in trouble. There. And I'm not sure what happened. I think did Enright just get on the power there? I'm not sure, but he's dropped down into 7th position there, and Enright there building momentum and then dropping back down the order there. So Enright there, Hanno Kovacic, and look at this, he's going this way and that way. Now he's got up the inside there, but Echo is not going to be too concerned by that. Echo does run wide though, and is that going to allow Enright to back up the inside into 5? Not quite there. No, I didn't even finish my sentence there before. It was all done and dusted there. And going into the touchdown, so I've got 2 more laps to go. Baz is still within the 5 second marker of Irvine, isn't he? Silent Shifter now, an absolutely barnstorming of a Grand Prix, isn't he? Brilliant 17th there. Silent Shifter leading the race there. Absolutely fantastic. He hasn't had it all his own way, I'll say. Theo might be kicking himself out, but I think Theo could still get a podium here, can he? As Emright having a look there, but Echo is not giving up, is he? This is some crucial points that Emright needs, and he hasn't scored for quite a while there. Emright hasn't there. And we ain't even at half. This is the Grand Prix. As Alibi has gone off the circuit, and he's well off the circuit there, unfortunately. Oh my goodness me, Emright's just pushing Echo out of the final turn, isn't he? Goodness me, Echo didn't come in the pit city on that safety car, whilst Emright did. He's got fresher tyres. Oh goodness me, Emright there going on the inside there. He wanted the inside. Echo defending it better, but Emright was having none of it. But Echo's gone back up the inside then. As Emright then is now alongside, and there's going to be a drag race down into turn 2 here. Emright has the inside there. Goodness me then. As there's a lot of car movement there on that short back, on that short straight up, but Enright has done it. He's through up into 6th position now, and job is a good one now. And just now on board with Echo as well. Roscoe is in 8th position now. Roscoe on a barnstorming drive as well. Swanshanks is now all over the back of the Ash as well. Great something there. Here's Theo on board with Theo, and I wonder if he's going to be kicking himself about what happened with him not coming in the pits there, where when the DRS was enabled. Then he was a lap later. He's a lap too late, wasn't he? There, maybe Ferrari called it wrong, perhaps, but he's going to be kicking himself. I feel, isn't he? I think Theo will will be. But still, but apart from that, though, this has been a great day for his championship, hasn't it? A brilliant day indeed. Baz and Irvine are not in the championship fight. Ayrton is in the championship fight, but Ayrton is behind him on track. But in terms of time penalties, Ayrton is going to drop to 8th, I think, maybe even lower than that then. So, yes, this is a damaging day then for Ayrton. This is a great day from Theo as well. Oh, my goodness me. Theo's on the inside. He is now into a net second position, I think. He is in a net second position now, Theo is. So this is a great day for Theo in the Ferrari on the final lap. Baz is also going to be in a very solid third position as well. It's great to see Baz up there. Roscoe and Echo. Goodness me there. And Roscoe had a lot of oversteer there, didn't he? Goodness me. He was reminiscent of Massa and Senna back in Singapore in 2012. Goodness gracious me. Maybe not as reminiscent actually, but my word, we're going to call the end of that. And that might have been the overtaking the Euro opportunity then, perhaps. I'm going to have to have another look at that. And here he is, and silent shifting, returning then to returning to the front of the ALR in absolutely fine style. If everyone didn't speed in the pit lane, then perhaps he could have won this race. And perhaps, and of course, that is such. I wonder if everyone's going to be kicking himself. We'll have to talk about that. Talk about him with that there in the interview in the post show. Here is silent shifting then on his return to the ALR, his 4th Grand Prix in bronze. He's had 2 DNFs and he's only 10th position. Now he wins the Grand Prix, and Silent Shifter returns after 6 months to win the race then. Oh, what an incredible performance as well. Theo finished second with Baz in third position. Absolutely mega stuff indeed then. Really good stuff. Ayrton gets 6th in the end then, so it's not as bad as what it could have been there, but I think that Ayrton might be ruined some of the misfortune that he had here today. However, Theo is going to be overjoyed with this result then. He is now in second position there. Theo is brilliant stuff indeed. 18 points there for Theo. He extends his lead in the World Championship over Ayrton. It was 15 points at the beginning of this race then, and now it is going to be hang on. It's going to be about 33 points now since that's over a Grand Prix win then. Oh my goodness me. So Theo going into Belgium that is round 10 of the World Championship. But my goodness gracious me then. Absolutely what an incredible race this one's been then. So there he is, and silent shift in there, brilliant driver. And Emrod got driver today, and I think that Emrod might be a bit disappointed with 5th position in the end next. He did have the pace, didn't he? He was electric after that safety car restart. He'd be a bit disappointed with that then. Well, silent shift in there. It's all green on the podium as well. That is also Aston Martin's 2nd Grand Prix win of their career in bronze as well. Lovely stuff indeed. And I really wish I didn't wear a white shirt now, because, yes, it's a bit see-through. Well, that was a cracking race, wasn't it? Oh, my word. I must say, I think that Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays is it's basically like going to the gym for me. I am absolutely saturated. My goodness me. Right, and let's take a final look at the classification, shall we? Silent Shifting returns after a 6 months hiatus, takes the Grand Prix win. Brilliant drive indeed then. Theo on pole position there, potentially could have won today as well. He made a mistake coming into the pit lap later, but Silent Shifting did look quite strong, didn't he? Baz in third position. Hats off to Baz. That's his first podium in the ALR. Really good stuff indeed there. 4th position Irvine, and if that drive, he's ruined that drive-through penalty. 5th position Enright there. He's drove the Dayton, but he could have got more, I feel. Ayrton in 6th position. Roscoe 7th. Echo in 8th. Diash in 9th. Swanshanks in 10th position. Vintage is outside the points 11th. 12th position is Alibi. So fast up as well. Camera Racer in 13th. Retirements Ross G, Gallagher, Billa, Lewis G, Chappie, RDW and Shatters. All retired then from the Hungarian Grand Prix here in Budapest. So as I'm just quickly going through the comments as well then, and yes, as unfortunately Gallagher, that's a sad way for me to end in league racing there, as Gallagher had a bit of a nightmare race, didn't he? But I think that Gallagher has been very impressed with ALR, so very good stuff indeed then. As I think that he's going off to university. Percy's asked, what does that mean for Ben? And yeah, I think that Ben's going off to university for a bit, and so we do wish him well, and everyone else is going to university then, so I hope they all have they all have a very good time, to be honest. And of course, I would say that I enjoyed university, but I wasn't smart enough to go to university. There we go. The highest I ever got was college. and even then I struggled. I think I was in the lowest set. We're just waiting for the as we're just waiting for the interviewees to come into the party, and then we'll just have a chit chat about that Grand Prix as well, and then we'll go, and then we'll wrap it up here, and before and I can have a lie down, to be honest. Goodness gracious me, then. Oh my word. Well, I got to say, that was a cracking Grand Prix, wasn't it? Thank you all for joining me as well. So I must admit, I was a bit, foolish, wasn't I? So I wasn't really looking at the comments tonight, was I? So I absolutely apologise for that profusely, of course, as you guys do make the show, but unfortunately, I was a bit. I was a bit intrigued about what was going on the track, unfortunately, but great comments as well. We'll read it, but I'll go back and go back through the comments there on tonight, and maybe just give a shout out next week or tomorrow, perhaps. Actually, yeah, tomorrow, because we're back in action, aren't we, for COBALT tomorrow night, 7:30 UK time for the Hungarian Grand Prix, round 9 of COBALT as well. And really, it's looking very strong for Hammer Time in COBALT, isn't it? Really good stuff indeed there. Of course, but let's see how it goes from here on in. J-Dog also returns to action as well tomorrow night, as he's been as of course he missed that race, didn't he, last summer in the British Grand Prix. We have Silent Shifting, who's just come into the podium as well. Silent Shifting, 6 months out, you've come back in, you've won it, easy as that. I'm not sure if we can. I'm not sure if we can hear you, to be honest. I can hear you slightly on the stream, but that's about it. I'm not sure if we can. Oh gosh, you can hear me. Goodness gracious me. Oh blimey, that's way too loud. Yeah, I'm not sure if we can hear you on the stream, my good man. It's. Hang on a minute. I'm 20 seconds behind. Oh, well, we still can't hear you, unfortunately. Oh gosh, that's a bit of a shame. No, we still can't hear you for some reason. I don't think. I think that all media stuff's all sorted. I hope it is. Anyway, I don't touch anything on this old shebang. Goodness gracious me.
Now I think it's going to work now. I didn't have the setting on that it shares my voice into live.
Yes, we can hear you now. Brilliant stuff indeed there. So, 6 months out, Silent Shifting, you've come back, and you've come back with absolutely barnstorm of race. You just said you enjoyed it there. Just talk us about your race then, from your perspective.
No practice, as I said. The qualifying, I was pretty unsure of my pace. I have been driving a lot of Hungary as a practice run for fun. I like the track a lot. I think it's one of my favorite tracks in the calendar. So I had some confidence going in, but the pace was good. I think the pole was not there for me, but I was happy with P3, and I've always been good in rain. I can pick the car up and don't crash it. Usually it happens sometimes, but stayed behind Theo. I pitted when Theo didn't, and undercut him, and then I had strong pace to finish it off even with the 3-second penalty. But it was smooth. I had a lot of fun, and thank you for everyone who was racing with me.
Yeah, very good stuff indeed. I think you made your return to ALR last season as well in Hungary, didn't you? In COBALT when it was raining as well. Is that right?
Yes, that's why I said it's always raining when I race in Hungary. I think I was 11th or 12th. I had no practice with the wheel. I just got it. Work-related stuff, so I couldn't continue. But now I'm back for good and practicing and ready to take that permanent seat when it's offered and just go for it.
And that's exactly what I like to hear as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And you said that you enjoyed the wet then. You sat behind Theo for quite a long time. Did you think you could go faster in the wet, or was you not concerned about overtaking Theo yet? Did you was you just biding your time in the early stages?
Yeah, I know. If I tried a too courageous dive bomb, I would end our both races, and that's not good. He had really strong pace on the rain, so I just decided to hang back and wait to the rain to stop. I thought he would pit at the same time as me, so we would have a battle of it, but he didn't, and that kind of gave it easy. And I can't say easy win, but it made it easier. But I was really worried when Jamie Wright was coming like a bullet behind me, and unfortunately he had a crash, so it made my job much easier again. But yeah, good race, had a lot of fun, good pace, and I'm enjoying racing again.
And we're enjoying having you as well. Well done, Silent Shifting. Of course, Silent Shifting's been with ALR for quite a long time as well. He's had a couple of pole positions. Of course, one of my favourite races I've seen Silent Shifting was in the Canadian Grand Prix, I think, quite a long time ago. Unfortunately, it was raining in that race as well, which I don't think it was very good for you that day, was it?
No, yeah, I remember that. I had extremely good pace in quali, and the setup just did not go well. I was spinning, my car wasn't moving from the corners, and I lost a lot of places from the, I think, first 3 laps. I was like P8, P9 after 4 laps, and then I spun into the wall, and that was it. But yeah, sometimes good and sometimes bad.
Yeah, I just remember bringing up that pole position because that was a quality pole position in Canada that year. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, the race wasn't too bad, but I got to say, you made up for it here tonight. Well done, Silent Shifted. Absolutely barnstorming drive as well. Before we go though, just talk about the end of your stint as well. How incredible you was on quali laps towards the end there. Talk us about that. How difficult was it just to keep yourself like in the quali mode? Was it a qualifying mode for you in the end?
Yeah. At the last 5 laps, I just thought I'd just go for it and try to keep the car intact. And I think the 4th or the 5th corner where you need to go fast on the left side and you can spin really easily. That's the only point I kind of gave up a little, because that's an easy spot to spin if you try too hard. But yeah, for some reason, even if I had, I think, 45% wear on my tires on all sides, I had no grip loss. I was just beaming it. The setup was fantastic. I don't understand how I got so lucky with that, but yeah, everything went smoothly. A little bit of back end wiggling at the middle of the race, at least when I put the mediums first on. The few first laps was horrible, but it came back to me, and yeah, it was smooth sailing afterwards.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Well done, Silent Shifting. Your first Grand Prix win in bronze as well. Magnificent stuff. And hopefully we'll see Silent Shifting again next week as well when we go to the Belgian Grand Prix. There's one more race though to go, which is COBALT tomorrow night, of course, said. 7:30 as well. Hammer Tomlin currently leads the way, doesn't he, in COBALT. Can anyone catch that man at the moment? Because he is absolutely on fire. See you tomorrow night for one more race around Hungary.